Chapter 225. Xiaze had indeed done this behind his manager's back, but he had thought that if the relationship didn't work out, he would release the smoke bomb. At that time, only Chu Xiang would want to seduce him. The manager wouldn't do anything. Countless people had tried to seduce him over the years. Who knew that Fang Zhenxuan would go to the restaurant to pick up Chu Xiang, and someone even took photos and videos. It was obvious that he was the one who took the initiative, and Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan were a little cold to him. How stupid would the manager be to believe his words again? He had been in the industry for 8 years and knew the psychology of the fans of fresh meat. He had expected that Fang Zhenxuan's fans wouldn't participate. Then, how could Chu Xiang, a manager with only 3 million fans, withstand the attack of his 70 million fans? She would definitely be scolded badly by her fans just like in the past. Her mouth would not be clear. However, he never expected that the fans would be affected by Chu Xiang's lawsuit last time. Against Chu Xiang, his big fans hesitated and didn't participate. They wanted to wait and see first. The only ones who participated were the scattered fans, and those who weren't rational enough. The Zhen Xiang couple fans were especially powerful. They made such a big deal out of it, and in the end, they still relied on photos and videos to turn the tables. It was obviously a very simple, useful, and harmful move. How did it end up hurting him? Xiaze was used to having things go smoothly. This time, the netizens guessed that he wanted to find Chu Xiang to be his manager. Looking at the photos, he felt that Chu Xiang didn't like him. His scandals were all over the place. He was embarrassed both inside and outside the industry, and he even offended his own manager. It was a big loss. Xiaze once again spent a lot of money to remove the trending topic, and paid the internet water army to calm his fans down. He said that he didn't want to argue with the newcomer and forcefully saved his dignity. However, a loss was a loss. This move could only fool passers-by, but it couldn't fool the eyes of the industry. Several people who had a good relationship with Chu Xiang called her to ask. They were surprised that Xiaze would come to poach her to be his manager. However, on second thought, it was very reasonable. Chu Xiang was in the limelight recently, and many celebrities wanted to get in touch with her. The people who called also tried to sound out Chu Xiang's opinion. Chu Xiang would only sign the contract with the right person. But at present, Fang Zhenxuan was still in charge. If that was the case, it would directly block many people. Those who had a bit of fame hoped that they would be the center of attention. If they weren't, of course, they would have to worry about the effect of changing managers. Those who were not famous were afraid that Chu Xiang would only pay attention to Fang Zhenxuan and not care about them. In that case, there was no point in following her. Thinking back to when Chu Xiang and Chen Lifeng were together, didn't she overlook another artist under her? Chu Xiang could be considered to have done something like this before she left when there was no improvement. Most people decided to wait and see after considering it. Only 3 to 5 graduates with good conditions asked their teachers to ask Chu Xiang to see if there was a chance. Chu Xiang made an appointment with them. Fang Zhenxuan was cooking for Chu Xiang in the open kitchen of her house. After listening to her call, he looked up at her. "You want to sign a new person?" Chu Xiang smiled. "Of course. I'm a very professional manager. My career is still long. How can I not have a few people under me?" She threw her phone on the sofa and walked over to the table. She smiled and said, "Don't worry, the most important person is definitely you. I won't neglect you because of others." Fang Zhenxuan was face to face with her. When he heard this promise, it was as if he had heard words of love. His face turned red. "Ahem, I'm not worried." Chu Xiang chuckled. "The right and wrong on the internet are temporary. Don't pay too much attention to it. Just focus on filming. I've seen the information about Xiaze that you sent me. It's quite ruthless. However, exposing it now won't kill him. At most, it will make him fall from the top to an ordinary A-list star. He still has a chance to make a comeback. It's better to wait." Fang Zhenxuan nodded in agreement. He's a little anxious now. He didn't have any results this year, and there's no fixed number for next year. It's inevitable that he'll make some mistakes. With his personality, he'll only become more impatient as time goes on. We'll wait for him to make a mistake and find the right opportunity to expose it to the best effect. Yes, this is my specialty. Leave it to me. You have to act well and get the award. Feng Zhenxuan smiled at her. Yes, I promise to complete the task. Okay, wash your hands and eat. The two of them had been together for so long that Feng Zhenxuan had already figured out Chu Xiang's taste. He cooked all her favorite dishes. Moreover, his cooking was very good. Chu Xiang ate very well. Work was going smoothly, fans were supporting her, and there was someone at home who made delicious food for her. She could see a handsome man whenever she looked up. This life was really amazing. Chu Xiang casually scrolled through Weibo and said, previously, everyone was wondering why I met Xiaozhe and didn't pay attention to anything else. Now that they've calmed down, it's very likely that they'll talk about our relationship. However, you have a lot of work since your debut. In the future, you'll go all the way. Scandals won't affect you much. Nothing will happen. Feng Zhenxuan saw that Chu Xiang was stunned and asked curiously, what's wrong? Are my fans scolding you? It can't be right? He leaned over to take a look at Chu Xiang's phone, and found that the fans on their side were indeed very strange. It was completely unexpected. CP fans posted under all the Weibo posts about Feng Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang's secret relationship. You have good taste. The two of them are real. Their sweetness is off the charts, and they dote on each other endlessly. Sure enough, the eyes of the masses are sharp. Since we can't hide it, we'll make it public. The CP is real. Thank you for so many people testifying for the two babies. You're all people who have witnessed their happiness. Love you. Completely different from the way they tore apart Xiaozhe's fans. The CP fans became gentle and kind. They all popularized Feng Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang's sweet collection, posted their beautiful photos, airport photos, edited short clips of fake idol dramas, and so on. Don't it really look sweet? But the key was that many people were a little malicious when they were in love. Some of Xiaozhe's fans even posted, wanting to see Feng Zhenxuan's girlfriend fans strangle Chu Xiang to death. Who knew that the CP fans would put away their hostility and praise them for having good taste? They were high profile, and went everywhere to say that the two of them were real. They admitted it everywhere, and the people who had bad intentions didn't know what to do. Some people were so sweet when they were in a secret relationship. What else could it be? Feng Zhenxuan's loyal fans who couldn't understand were also dumbfounded. They really didn't have any other thoughts. After all, Chu Xiang was their idol, and their thoughts were deeply rooted. They just didn't react at the beginning and realized that the CP fans were already fiercely attacking. Later, when they saw that Feng Zhenxuan's big fans didn't participate, the law students pondered for a moment and didn't participate. After all, the CP fans were already tied with the other party. If they went down to support them, wouldn't it be one-sided bullying the other party? It wasn't worth it. When they saw the scandal between Feng Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang spread like it was real, the CP fans rushed out to thank others for discovering the truth. They didn't seem to have any special feelings, because they were already used to the actions of the CP fans. They were used to seeing those sweet jokes, so how could they feel when they saw that the CP was real? They were just used to it. No matter how the core fans of the law corps were law students, their biggest advantage was their rationality and ability to analyze the situation. Although this matter started with a fight, it was very popular. After analyzing it, they realized that if they refuted the CP now, it would only cause internal strife among their own fans. Feng Zhenxuan's fans, Chu Xiang's fans, and the CP fans were as close as a family from the beginning, and were united against outsiders. If they didn't encounter any problems with their principles, why would they have internal strife? Wasn't it good to be united and strong? Arguing with their own fans would only make the other party proud, so they definitely couldn't argue. On the contrary, they analyzed that the CP fans were also fans who would really support the work, and they were very loyal. This scandal and the CP fans' recommendation actually attracted a large number of new CP fans. It was a good thing to be able to attract fans, so they definitely couldn't argue. The perfect results of the previous few incidents made the fans trust the big fans very much. Therefore, under the guidance of the big fans, the law corps didn't mention a word about the secret relationship. They posted Feng Zhenxuan's various merits, and focused on promoting Feng Zhenxuan, who was the best. Chu Xiang's fans watched for a while, and realized that they didn't lose out at all. They were still gaining fans, so it was fine. Therefore, Chu Xiang's fans also focused on promoting Chu Xiang, who was the best. They didn't say anything else. Occasionally, there would be a few fans who were unhappy, but under such circumstances, they were completely drowned out. No one noticed them at all. Therefore, the scene that should have been suspected of being in a relationship was made harmonious by the fans of the three families. And with such high popularity, it was very effective to promote Fang Zhenxuan, Chu Xiang, and Zhen Xiang as a CP. When the insiders saw this, they couldn't help but sigh. They have the time, place, and people. It's hard for Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang not to be popular. This suspected relationship exposure incident could be written into the history of the entertainment industry. It was a completely different development from others, and the unexpected result could be said to be a model of a bad thing turning into a good thing. The most important thing was that this wasn't guided by the artist's manager, but the spontaneous behavior of the fans. This became a special event in the fan circle that everyone remembered. At the same time, it let everyone clearly understand that although Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan's fans had three attributes, they surrounded the two people they liked like an iron bucket and firmly protected them. No one could hurt them, and no one could sow discord. This kind of unity was unprecedented. Such a fan group must not be provoked. Otherwise, they would end up like Xia Zhe, Zhou Yuan, and Chen Lifeng, who didn't look like they would have a good ending. Chu Xiang carefully thought about the difference between their fans and other fans. In fact, the main difference was that law students occupied the position of the core fans from the beginning, and were very good at guiding the scattered fans, who could argue with a lawyer's mouth. The core fans had almost 3,000 future lawyers, and they were all first-class debaters. If they made any sense, the scattered fans would only think that they were right. They did make the right decision every time because they didn't simply follow celebrities based on their mood. They would also seriously study every incident as a case and analyze the cause and effect, benefits and risks behind it. This was equivalent to a super powerful legal team managing these fans. The legal team wasn't just called out casually. They wouldn't make mistakes. As fans, they would only be helpful and would never be a burden. Chu Xiang put down her phone and looked at Fang Zhenxuan, revealing a relaxed smile. With your fans, I've saved a lot of trouble. Fang Zhenxuan's gaze was still fixed on the phone, and his mood was a little complicated. He raised his hand and pressed it on his heart, softly saying, "Sometimes, I feel that. I'm not that good. They like me, support me, and have done a lot for me. I don't know how to thank them, and I don't know what I can do for them." Perhaps this was a loss that every celebrity had, just like a celebrity who had been popular for decades. Once he choked up and said to his fans, "I persevered for my dream, and I've been like this for 30 years. But I don't understand why you guys can persevere for so long." Chu Xiang had also thought about this before. She held Fang Zhenxuan's hand on the table, and her voice was filled with warmth. You just need to become a better version of yourself, and you can be their guiding light. Life is very long. It's not easy to not make mistakes and not be a bad example. If you want to thank them, be the best version of yourself in all aspects. When they look at you, they can absorb the strength of life and growth. It's like a kind of faith that can give them endless courage to walk on the right path. Fang Zhenxuan held Chu Xiang's hand. At this moment, he felt that his body was heavy, and there was an additional responsibility. He hoped that he would never disappoint his fans. He hoped that he could be a good guiding light. He looked at Chu Xiang and held her hand tightly. "Will you walk with me until the end of time?" Chu Xiang also looked into his eyes. Yes. If idols could give their fans strength, then their partners could also give them strength. With a simple word, Fang Zhenxuan felt that the burden on his body had lightened. He still had a sense of responsibility, but with Chu Xiang together, he knew that he could definitely do it. Although Chu Xiang was not his partner yet, in his heart, Chu Xiang was already in the position of a partner. He curled the corners of his mouth and said seriously, "Wait for me. I will definitely get the Best Actor trophy and give you many." "Okay, I'll wait for you." Chu Xiang smiled. The dinner was almost cold, but it was still delicious. It was filled with a warm and sweet atmosphere. Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan cherished their fans as much. This time, their fans were so supportive, so they felt that they should give their fans some benefits. Fang Zhenxuan had just given out 20 million fans benefits. It was not appropriate for him to give more benefits. Moreover, at such a sensitive time, it felt like he was deliberately provoking him. Although almost everyone in the industry knew that he and Xiaozhe were rivals, they still had to maintain a friendly attitude on the surface. There was no need to make things too ugly. On the other hand, Chu Xiang's Weibo fans had inexplicably exceeded 5 million. This matter was indeed caused by her. She touched her chin. Bring your electronic piano over. I'll sing a song for everyone. Fang Zhenxuan was a little surprised. You can play the piano? And you can sing? Chu Xiang laughed. Fang Zhenxuan did not wait for her answer, and got up excitedly to open the door. What don't you know? I'll go get it now. Do you know how to play the guitar? I'll bring it over too. Chu Xiang thought for a moment. I know how to play. Bring it all over, and also the microphone. Forget it, I'll go and record it. It's troublesome. Chu Xiang went to put on makeup, tidied her hair, and changed into a beautiful red dress before going to the opposite door. Xian ran over and held her hand. She looked up and smiled. Sister, you're so beautiful. Are you going out? Chu Xiang bent down and pinched her soft face. No, I'm going to sing and do a live broadcast for my fans. Xian rolled her eyes and said, Then can I look at it? I promise I won't cause trouble. Sure, what's wrong with that? Let's go to the study. Chu Xiang held Xian's hand and walked into the study. Fang Zhenxuan and Sister Wen had already arranged everything. Fang Zhenxuan held his phone. I'll record it for you. Sister Wen and Xian were both sitting on the sofa. Fang Zhenxuan was looking for a suitable angle with his phone. Chu Xiang first posted on Weibo, announcing the live broadcast in 10 minutes. Then she sat behind the electronic piano and started to play. In the past, she was good at singing and dancing. She had learned many musical instruments, including the piano and the guitar. However, she had transmigrated to other places a few times and had not touched them for a long time. Now that she had touched the piano, she found the feeling in a few tries. She hummed casually, and her fingers fluttered skillfully on the piano keys. Soon she adjusted to the best state. Fang Zhenxuan stared at her, and was reluctant to blink. His fans always thought that he was charming, but in his eyes, Chu Xiang was the one with infinite charm. It made him have an impulse to hide her, and never let anyone see her. However, this was impossible. He was going to start the live broadcast himself, and share such a good Chu Xiang with others. Fang Zhenxuan pursed his lips unwillingly, and took a deep breath. When Chu Xiang looked over, he nodded and turned on the live broadcast. Ah, my Xiang is so beautiful. I can't find anyone more suitable for Red than her. What kind of beauty is this? Xiang is going to play the piano? Sing. Wow, there's a big benefit today. I'm just curious. Who took the video for Xiang? Is it arrogance? No, isn't this Zhenxuan's study? It's the same background as when Zhenxuan played the guitar last time. Isn't it? Isn't it? All the girls under the microscope, get moving. Chu Xiang had her mobile phone on top of the piano. In order to see the fans' words and the effect of her live broadcast, she saw that everyone had begun to study the surrounding environment. She laughed and said, You don't have to use the microscope for such a small thing, do you? This is Zhenxuan's study. I live opposite him. Because I don't have any instruments at home, I came here to do the live broadcast. Opposite. In fact, it's okay to live together. Really, look at my sincere eyes. Xiang is so beautiful. What song is Xiang going to sing? Xiang, I love you. Many of Fang Zhenxuan's fans also came to watch Chu Xiang's live broadcast. When they saw the CP fans and Chu Xiang's fans happy, they silently turned off their microphones. However, they still occasionally praised Chu Xiang. After all, she was really beautiful. Many of them were also fans of her appearance. Being beautiful was the way to go. When Chu Xiang began to sing, those who turned off their microphones could no longer control their hands. What agent? Why did she become an agent? She was so good-looking and sang so well. Why didn't she become a singer? Her piano playing was also at a professional level, okay? So why did she become an agent? At first, Fang Zhenxuan would pay attention to the comments in the live broadcast room, but later, his eyes were glued to Chu Xiang. It was good and beautiful. Chu Xiang's appearance when she was immersed in singing seemed to be glowing. This ordinary study seemed to have become a starry stage, making the person performing on the stage shine brightly. Not only Fang Zhenxuan and the fans were fascinated, but Xinqin and Sister Wen were also amazed. Xinqin was only 5 years old. She only knew how to express her love in the most straightforward way. When Chu Xiang finished singing, she was the first to jump up and applaud. She said loudly, "Sister, you're great. So good." Chu Xiang was stunned and smiled at her. "If you like, Sister will teach you." The fans were still immersed in the beautiful singing and couldn't believe their ears. They didn't come back to their senses until they heard Xinqin's voice. Then they became excited again. Was that Zhenxuan's niece talking just now? Baby's voice is so nice. Can we take a look at baby? Zhenxuan's niece is called Sister Xiang Xiang? Ha ha ha, there's a generation difference. Xiang Xiang's singing is so good. Jean, please debut. So Zhenxuan's niece is here. Could it be that Zhenxuan is helping Xiang Xiang live broadcast? It must be. The camera is shaking. It's definitely not on the shelf. Zhenxuan, 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 please appear on screen. Everyone was spamming the comments. Thanks to Chu Xiang's strong soul and memory, she could see them clearly. She smiled. Forget about debuting. I still prefer to be an agent. Wouldn't it be better to choose some unpolished jade and carve it into fine products for you? She gestured for Xinqin to keep quiet and continued. Darling will meet everyone soon. Zhenxuan is going to take Darling to film a variety show soon, and she will meet everyone in autumn. There's also the New Year's slot, Journey Detective. Everyone knows about it, right? Zhenxuan is the male lead, Baby is the female lead, and I'm just a guest star. Remember to go to the cinema to support me. Really? Mine. There's another variety show to watch. I'm looking forward to it. What kind of movie is Journey Detective? I'll definitely bring my whole family and friends to watch it. Ah, why do I feel like I'm about to see a family of 3? I love it, I love it. Journey Detective, let's do it. Happy New Year half a year in advance. Everyone, go and book the theater. I'm going to start saving money now. Chu Xiang chuckled and picked up her guitar. There's no need to book the theater. Just provide everyone with a movie ticket. Your thoughts are the most precious. If you have money, buy more things for yourself. Do you know how much you have to love yourself? Chu Xiang promoted Journey Detective and the variety show very naturally. Then, she looked up at Fang Zhenxuan. Everyone wants you to appear on screen. Why don't you cook later? Okay. Fang Zhenxuan was the closest to the phone. His okay was clearly heard by everyone. Instantly, there was another wave of comments. Chu Xiang smiled. Everyone can go and spread the news now. After I finish singing this song, we'll go to the kitchen and watch Zhenxuan cook a dish. Fang Zhenxuan's fans were overjoyed. While thanking Chu Xiang, they called their friends and went to various fan groups to invite people. On Weibo, more and more people knew that Chu Xiang was streaming. They knew that her singing was better than other singers. They also knew that Fang Zhenxuan was going to cook. Thus, some were curious, some were skeptical, and some wanted to find fault with her. The number of viewers in Chu Xiang's streaming room increased at a terrifying speed. Chu Xiang played the guitar for a while, and then started to sing. The song she played and sang was the song that Fang Zhenxuan played and sang last time. Their couple fans were very good. They should get exclusive benefits. As expected, the couple fans got the sweet spot immediately. They crazily spammed that this was the only song that Fang Zhenxuan had ever sung. The smile on Fang Zhenxuan's face was very gentle. He looked at Chu Xiang with a loving gaze. He had a lot more confidence in their future. Every vision of the future was beautiful. How lucky he was to have met her. The passers-by and a large number of fans were stunned by Chu Xiang's performance. Who would believe that she was a manager? Chu Xiang was wearing a red dress and sitting there playing and singing. She was a big-shot singer. It didn't look strange at all. One person wrote a blood letter begging Xiang Xiang to debut. 10,000 people wrote a blood letter begging Sister Xiang to debut. My ears are about to get pregnant. Sister Xiang, it's a big loss for the entertainment industry if you don't debut. The fans couldn't wait for her to debut on the spot. She might be the most popular manager in the history of the entertainment industry. Her business ability was so strong. How many stars could she beat? If she debuted, there might be no other stars. Chu Xiang saw that everyone was so excited. She knew that they all liked it very much. That's good. She did it to give everyone benefits. If everyone liked it, she didn't sing in vain. She got up and walked towards the camera. She reached out and took the phone. Okay, let's go to the kitchen now and ask the handsome Chef Fong to cook a dish. Let everyone see Zhinshuan at home up close. I want to see the house. See the house. Please show us Zhinshuan's house. Chu Xiang saw everyone's request and didn't agree. She still had to maintain a sense of mystery. She walked all the way and only showed everyone the roof. However, the satisfied fans were very happy to see the roof and the chandelier. Chu Xiang went to the kitchen and switched the camera to Fang Zhinshuan. She smiled. Let's take a look at the kitchen. Zhinshuan, what are you going to do? I'm going to make your favorite sweet and sour pork ribs. Fang Zhinshuan looked up at Chu Xiang as if he was looking at the camera. The CP fans immediately flooded the screen crazily and threw gifts as if they didn't cost money. Your favorite food. Your favorite food. They were really going to die of sweetness today. Fans of this CP could really lie at the bottom of the pit for 10,000 years and never come out. Everything the Prince Charming did was pleasing to the eye. In Chu Xiang's camera, Fang Zhinshuan's slender fingers slowly processed the ingredients. His knife skills were clean and neat, and his movements were skillful. From time to time, he would explain what steps he was doing and toss the spoon for everyone. It was very good-looking and touching. If there was such a handsome Prince Charming cooking for them at home, everything would be worth it. This live broadcast didn't last long, but the effect was amazing. Chu Xiang's fans liked it, the CP fans liked it, the legal corps liked it, and the general public also liked it. Everyone who saw it could find something they liked from the live broadcast. It was simply a large-scale scene with no blind spots. The most discussed person was Chu Xiang. She sang so well, and her sense of the camera was so good during the live broadcast. Every frown and smile was just right. Why didn't she become a star? If she became a star, how many people in the fan circle would climb the wall? Chu Xiang's live broadcast this time was a benefit for her Weibo's 5 million fans. This data was really too high for an agent. Other agents only had 7 or 800,000 fans at most. What's more, her popularity was comparable to the A-list. She was not a star, but she was better than a star. Many fans had been criticized by them. Naturally, they didn't like Chu Xiang. Seeing that she was becoming more and more popular, they couldn't help but be jealous. Most of them were talking about how Chu Xiang was attracting attention. She didn't do her job properly as an agent, and went on the hot search. She was obviously marketing herself, and paving the way for her future debut. Chu Xiang's fans laughed. Chu Xiang was now very popular with the media. Once something happened to her, it would be widely reported. Today's lively incident was proof. She had a strong family background, a strong personality, and tyrannical strength. What couldn't she do? She could be popular when she debuted. She invested 30 million yuan in a movie. She could become popular when she promoted someone. She had more fans than many stars on Weibo. Why did she need to attract attention? Why did she need to attract attention? Chu Xiang's fans' anti-defamation comments made more passers-by understand the omnipotent Chu Xiang. How could people not like such a person? Even if they didn't chase stars or become fans, they were at least passers-by fans and had a very high likability. Another large number of passers-by, after watching the live broadcast and eating countless candies on the Zhenxiang CP, resolutely joined the big family of the Zhenxiang CP, and became the girls under the microscope sweetly with them. There were also many people who had always felt that Chu Xiang and Fang Zhinshuan were not a good match. After watching the video and reading the popular science of the CP fans, they sighed with emotion. Lying at the bottom of the pit, the love was more real than anyone else. This time, Fang Zhinshuan helped Chu Xiang carry her bag. had an underground relationship with Chu Xiang, and lived opposite Chu Xiang. Instead, the topic of Chu Xiang's omnipotence became popular. The Zhenxiang CP became popular, and so did the Zhenxiang CP fans. Since then, there was a rumor in the fan circle that Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang's fans couldn't be provoked, and their CP fans couldn't be provoked even more. However, this "can't be provoked" was a little different from other fans. Other fans couldn't be provoked because they scolded them too fiercely, and no one was willing to get involved with them because it was too disgusting. However, these fans couldn't be provoked because they were really fierce and reasonable. They would even peel off a layer of the other party's skin to let the truth be known. And they might even send a lawyer's letter. It was very serious. The Zhenxiang CP fans became famous overnight and left a deep impression on people. So much so that outsiders called Fang Zhenxuan's fans, Chu Xiang's fans, and their CP fans the Zhenxiang CP army. Even a top fan like Xia Zhe didn't get any benefits. Whoever provoked the Zhenxiang CP army would be courting death. As more and more people talked about Chu Xiang's omnipotence, someone raised a question. Since Chu Xiang was so good, why had she never shown it before? Who was the one who had buried her? The answer was obvious. Chen Lifeng had wasted Chu Xiang's 8 years. Chu Xiang was 30 years old. 8 years, her entire youth, was wasted on Chen Lifeng. Chu Xiang only used half a year to make the newcomer Fang Zhenxuan so popular. Chen Lifeng took 8 years to win the Best Actor award. Before that, he had always been the same. Was there any need to think about who the problem was? Seeing that Chen Lifeng didn't make any moves after changing managers, it was enough to prove that his previous achievements were all due to Chu Xiang's efforts. However, he had dragged Chu Xiang down, causing a bright pearl to be covered in dust for 8 years. If it weren't for him, Chu Xiang might have become popular all over the country when she debuted. Countless netizens felt sorry for Chen Lifeng, and some even started to hate him. Everyone liked beautiful things. Good-looking people, good songs, fun live broadcasts. Chu Xiang was one of them. They felt that Chen Lifeng had caused them to miss out on the opportunity to discover Chu Xiang. The more they liked Chu Xiang, the more they couldn't help but hate Chen Lifeng. Chen Lifeng's popularity was completely ruined, and he didn't even know why. He didn't know where he had gone wrong step by step. He had been filming a movie recently. It was also a New Year's movie. When he saw how Chu Xiang became popular with just one live broadcast, and how many people knew about Journey Detective, he regretted it once again. If he hadn't changed managers, Chu Xiang would be promoting his movie now. However, at the same time, he felt angry. How much had Chu Xiang hidden from him? Why didn't he know that Chu Xiang could play the piano and guitar? Why didn't he know that Chu Xiang could sing so well? Why didn't Chu Xiang dress up when she was with him in the past? If Chu Xiang was as beautiful and good as she was now, why would he have changed managers? Scumbags would never feel that they were in the wrong. They would only blame others. However, no one cared about what Chen Lifeng thought. The traps that Chu Xiang had dug for him were showing their effects one by one. Killing without spilling blood, like boiling a frog in warm water. Perhaps other than Chu Xiang herself, no one would know how Chen Lifeng became so cold. After the live broadcast, Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan returned to the set to film. In order to catch up with his scenes, Fang Zhenxuan sometimes had to film for more than 30 hours and rest for 4 to 5 hours before starting again. Fortunately, he was young and had a good foundation. His mental state and state were not affected. The director, who strived for perfection, was very satisfied with him and praised him every single time. With such high intensity and focus, Fang Zhenxuan's acting skills became better. Chu Xiang specially recorded a video of him acting and showed it to Mr. Liang. She had to let the boss know what she was doing. She also had to let the boss know if there was any progress. Otherwise, how could she get more support? Mr. Liang was surprised to find that Fang Zhenxuan's acting skills had improved again. Every time an artist was busy with work, he had almost no time to rest. He could still calm down and study his acting skills. This was something that 99% of the artists in the industry could not do. Others needed to spare some time for themselves to hone their acting skills. It was the first time that he had seen such a good combination of work and improvement. He appreciated Fang Zhenxuan, a newcomer, Even more. Chu Xiang and Mr. Liang mentioned the endorsement she wanted again while chatting, hoping that the company could help to negotiate. Fang Zhenxuan had signed an VM agreement with the company. Of course, the company would fully support him. What's more, he worked so hard and deserved better resources. Chu Xiang went to the company and booked a mobile phone endorsement, a car endorsement, and a computer brand endorsement. These were originally for Chen Lifeng. Now, of course, they were snatched by her. The booking was just a formality. After the process was over, it was time to sign the contract. When the colleagues in the company saw Chu Xiang, they all greeted her. The director of the public relations department, who was familiar with her, even joked, "Tycoon Tyrant is really different. These earrings, this hairstyle, these clothes, you have the aura of a queen. You are the focus of attention wherever you go. It's not like before, when no one noticed you when you came to the company." Chu Xiang smiled and said, "You can do it too. When you have time, let's go shopping and go to the spa together. Isn't it all because of your help behind my back that I can be so at ease? That's yours. I'll go to you this weekend. In the future, when you have more people in your hands, there will be a long time for you to be at the forefront." Chu Xiang laughed. "That's right. I'm going to meet people now. I'll sign the contract when I choose the right one. I'll have to trouble you in the future." She had the title of a gold medal agent, but there was no basis to evaluate a gold medal agent. She would not just make one person popular. She would make one person popular after another. In the near future, gold medal agent might not be enough to describe her. Chapter 226. There were many artists in the industry who wanted to contact Chu Xiang through their connections, but most of them were rejected by Chu Xiang. She only secretly met a few who she felt had potential. The reason for the secret meeting was that she was too popular now. Even the fans were guessing when she would sign a new artist. If they found out that she had met someone but didn't sign, they would think that she didn't think highly of the other party. Then the other party's road might be difficult. She didn't want to cause trouble for them. Chu Xiang was a little confused about how she could be so popular as a manager. She didn't do anything on purpose. She gave benefits to her fans because she really cared about them. Why did it seem like she was also a star? However, it didn't matter. She still did what she had to do. Ever since she was secretly photographed eating with Xia Zhe, she gave the heaven and earth mirror in order to monitor the situation around her at all times. If there was any suspicious situation, it would immediately tell her or reflect the light so that the other party couldn't take it. So she wasn't afraid at all. After meeting people, Chu Xiang took a fancy to a girl who was in her second year, Xia Lingling. She was recommended by a famous teacher in the film and television school. She was beautiful and had good acting skills. Most importantly, she loved acting and was willing to work hard. There was also Mu Sun, who had been lukewarm for 5 years. He was low-key and slow to warm up. He wasn't good at dealing with people, and he had the strict style of an old cadre. In a colorful environment like the entertainment industry, such a personality was very disadvantageous to his development. He was signed to Hongyao, but he offended the company's higher-ups when he refused to drink at a drinking party. After that, good resources were cut off from him. So he was now 28 years old, but he was still playing the role of the third and fourth male lead. If it weren't for his good acting skills, he might have disappeared from the public. Chu Xiang specially learned about Hongyao Entertainment because of Chen Lifeng, Zhou Yuan, and Xia Zhe. It was a completely different company from Xingqian. They didn't have human feelings and put profits first. There were also some shady deals, which made her very happy. She found out that Mu Sen's contract had expired, so she took the initiative to contact him. Chu Xiang asked the Heaven and Earth Mirror to check on these two people. Their personalities were the same in private. She was also surprised to find that Xia Lingling was actually her and Fang Zhenxuan's CP fan. Since there were no problems, she signed the two of them. For the two of them, the extremely popular agent Chu Xiang signing with them was simply a pie falling from the sky. The people around them were all envious and amazed, constantly congratulating them. The two of them, on the other hand, were not as happy as the others. When Chu Xiang invited them to her home, they were still very calm. However, he was definitely grateful. Mu Sun was more mature and steady. After everyone was seated, he expressed his gratitude first. Thank you, Sister Xiang, for helping me solve the problem with Hong Yao. Chu Xiang smiled. I will only do this if you are worth it. You must have confidence in yourself. Your acting skills are very good, and you will soon receive the honor that you deserve. Calm down and join the crew to film well. All right, I'll film it with all my heart. Although there was no sign of the script, Mu Sun had always been a calm person. If he agreed seriously, he wouldn't say anything nice, so he remained silent. Chu Xiang didn't mind. People like her were few and far between. It would be easy to get honors if she specialized in acting. As for popularity, which old cadre's style wasn't likable. Moreover, Mu Sun was a handsome and stylish man. If he was used well, he would still be able to attract a large number of fans. Xia Lingling smiled and said, Sister Xiang, I've been learning from my teacher before and have only acted in 2 shows. I'm also very unfamiliar with the entertainment industry and don't have any experience. However, I'll learn diligently. If Sister Xiang has any requests, just tell me. I'll work hard and won't let Sister Xiang down. Chu Xiang couldn't help but laugh. She always felt like a student making a promise to her teacher. However, Xia Lingling's pure student spirit was also very rare. It was suitable for her to act in more youthful films while she was still young. She encouraged her. Your acting skills are very good. Don't worry, I'll get Lin to follow you. If you encounter anything that you can't decide on, you can ask her. When you're free, I'll arrange some tasks for you. Just complete them like homework. The rest of the time, train your acting skills and wait for filming. After she sincerely affirmed the 2's abilities, she introduced them to the chauffeur, assistant, and makeup artist assigned to them. There were 2 assistants. One was a real assistant, and the other was equivalent to the existence of a manager. In other words, she was grooming the new Rao at the same time. She was in charge of the general direction and decision-making, but the specific communication and arrangements were left to others. Lin, who had been following her, was in charge of Xia Lingling, while Fang Yuan, who had been following Fang Zhenxuan, was in charge of Mu Senior. Lin and Fang Yuan were very capable. This was also considered to be supporting them and developing their careers. After Chu Xiang finished the introductions, she explained, You should have heard that when I was working with Chen Lifeng in the past, I neglected another artist. That artist changed her manager. In fact, I found good resources for that artist, but the results weren't good. The facts proved that she didn't develop even after changing her manager. I hope you don't misunderstand me. My phone is turned on at 24 hours. You can call me if you need anything. Your resources won't be worse than others. Since I've signed you, I'll definitely make you popular. I won't ruin my own reputation. Mu Sun had been treated harshly in the past, and his manager was just a figurehead. His current situation was much better than before, so he didn't have any objections. He directly nodded and added Fang Yuan on WeChat to get to know each other. Xia Lingling was a fan of Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan's CP, which was equivalent to being a fan of Chu Xiang. Naturally, she didn't have any objections. For Ying to get this opportunity that everyone was envious of, it was like winning the lottery. Until now, she still felt like she was dreaming. She was only happy and didn't have any doubts. She really believed that Chu Xiang was an all-around manager. If she followed Chu Xiang, she would definitely be able to become popular and act in more shows that she liked. Xia Lingling already knew that Lin was Chu Xiang's right-hand woman. She greeted Lin happily and didn't have any other thoughts. Chu Xiang had been observing them. Seeing that they had all calmed down, she was very satisfied. She asked the chauffeur, assistant and others to leave, leaving only Mu Sun, Xia Lingling, Lin and Fang Yuan. Then, she took out the few scripts that she had chosen. She chose 3 scripts for each of them. These were the scripts that she had shown to Lin and Fang Yuan before. So now, she asked Lin and Fang Yuan to give them the pros and cons of each script to show their abilities. Then she asked Mu Sun, Xia Lingling, and the others to give their opinions. Finally, she gave her own opinions. Of course, the scripts that she took out couldn't be of bad quality. After a few discussions, Mu Sun and Xia Lingling both listened to her opinion. Mu Sun was acting in a drama with 2 male leads. He played the villain in it. He was the beautiful, tragic, and strong type. In the end, he had to give a helpless reason for doing evil, which could be considered as a whitewash. It was a role that wasn't easy to grasp. If he acted well, he would be outstanding. If he didn't act well, he would be hated. Musen had never acted as a villain before, but his acting skills were excellent, and he loved acting. When he saw the script, his eyes lit up. Without any doubt, he agreed with this choice. Soon he took the script and immersed himself in it. Xia Lingling was acting as the second female lead in an idol drama. She was lively, cute, and a little muddle-headed. Her 3 values were perfect, but she always made mistakes. She was the comedy of the whole drama. Her emotional scenes in the drama were the auxiliary couple of the whole drama. She was sweet and harmless throughout. If her acting was average, she would be the more likable second female lead. If she acted well, she would definitely be the highlight of the whole drama. She would be more popular than the female lead. Xia Lingling didn't know how to analyze the script and the role. After listening to Chu Xiang's analysis, the more she looked at the role, the more she liked it. Moreover, she felt that it wasn't difficult for her to play this role. She immediately accepted it happily. At the same time, she excitedly spammed the bullet screen. Chu Xiang was indeed the most outstanding manager. She was so awesome and handsome. She was so lucky. Chu Xiang considered that if she let them join the crew directly, it would take a long time for the drama to be broadcast. Then there wouldn't be any popularity during this period. It would be a waste of time. Therefore, Chu Xiang arranged a variety show for them. They had to finish filming before they joined the crew. It would be broadcast in autumn. Then, it would be just right for the drama to be broadcast during the winter holidays. She was no longer the same as when she was managing Fang Zhenxuan. Now her connections were much better. The quality of the resources she could get was also much better. Musen was given an acting variety show. The guests participating were newcomers, young celebrities, and many green leaves, who weren't popular or were outdated. Musen was also one of the green leaves, who weren't popular. It wasn't strange for him to join this variety show. Moreover, Chu Xiang believed in his ability. She had already informed the crew. As long as he didn't lose in terms of ability, the crew wouldn't eliminate Mu. Senator Xia Lingling was allowed to participate in an indoor game show as one of the 4 fixed MCs. This program was hosted by 2 big names from variety shows. Xia Lingling and the other big boy were the assistants. The program was very popular, and the games were very interesting. Even if Xia Lingling was the assistant, she had enough exposure. If she could make her performance more likable, it would be easier for her to attract fans. In particular, this show had a microphone game in every episode. The MCs and guests would pass on words or perform one by one, letting the last person guess. Sometimes they would pass on the lines of classic movies and TV dramas. Sometimes they would pass on the imitated actions and expressions. No matter which one it was, it could very well show Xia Lingling's skills as an actress. It could be considered a very high-quality resource for her. The resources that Chu Xiang arranged for them directly reassured them. Even if Chu Xiang didn't follow them personally, as long as the resources were in place, they would firmly seize the opportunity. What's more, the crisis public relations and marketing decisions were all made by Chu Xiang. What was there to worry about? They had just finished when they heard the sound of the door being locked with a password. Then Fang Zhenxuan walked in with a big bag of fruits. He had a very nice smile on his face. "Haven't you finished chatting?" Lin and Fang Yuan immediately stood up to greet him. Mu Sun and Xia Lingling turned their heads to look, and also stood up to greet him. Although Mu Sun was 6 years older than Fang Zhenxuan, now that he was following Chu Xiang, he always felt that Fang Zhenxuan was like a senior brother. Xia Lingling was much more excited. She screamed like a groundhog in her heart. The mommy, I really knocked on the head." Chu Xiang didn't expect Fang Zhenxuan to come at all. At this time he should be filming with the crew. However, when she thought of Fang Zhenxuan coming over to carry things and directly entering the password lock, as if he was openly scheming, she couldn't help but laugh and got up to greet Fang Zhenxuan. "We're almost done chatting. Have you finished filming today?" She reached out to take the fruits Fang Zhenxuan carried, and let him change his shoes. Fang Zhenxuan's hand dodged. It's very heavy. Let me carry it. Feng Yuan was very perceptive. She went over to take the fruits and went to the kitchen to cut them into a fruit plate. Xia Lingling's eyes were almost shining with stars. She gritted her teeth hard to stop herself from screaming. Feng Zhenxuan smiled and greeted everyone. Today's filming went very smoothly and ended early. I wanted to come back to have a look and get to know brother Sun and Lingling. We will be a family in the future. This scheming boy clearly came back to declare his sovereignty. Chu Xiang held back her laughter and asked him to sit down. After chatting for a while, Mu Sun and Xia Lingling left, leaving only Chu Xiang and Feng Zhenxuan in the room. Chu Xiang turned sideways on the sofa and smiled at Feng Zhenxuan. Feng Zhenxuan coughed softly. What's wrong? I just came to meet them. Aren't we going to be a team in the future? Who would believe you? You didn't rest today to come back early, right? I have just settled them down. They will fly everywhere with you in the future. Really? Feng Zhenxuan blurted out. He coughed softly and laughed. Okay, I came back on purpose. Well, you trained Lin and Feng Yuan. Do you want to open a studio in the future? This change of topic was very stiff, but Chu Xiang saw the happy smile on his face and went along with it. She did have plans to open her own studio. How could she keep working for others? She had friendly relations with the company just to save herself some trouble. It was better to have a backer when she was a newcomer. Now that she was accumulating capital, of course, it was more comfortable to be her own boss. She didn't need to discuss anything with others. This was also the reason why she only let Feng Zhenxuan sign a 2-year contract with the company. Even for the newly signed Mu Sun and Xia Lingling, she tricked CEO Liang into agreeing to only sign a 1-year contract, and end the contract with Feng Zhenxuan at the same time. The company could also see her value. She would leave sooner or later. If she couldn't take away the artists in her hands, she could still make other people famous. If the company had a grudge with her, she would probably snatch the company's resources. A big company didn't need to do that. It was better to let her help the company earn money in these 2 years. When she left, she would take her people with her. In the end, she would continue to work with the company. It was a win-win situation. However, her current status in the entertainment industry wasn't big enough. She wasn't in a hurry to set up her own company. She just needed to slowly train the candidates. Chu Xiang and Feng Zhenxuan chatted for a long time as they ate fruits and talked about their future plans. When Feng Zhenxuan heard that Chu Xiang was going to guide Mu Sun and Xia Lingling in variety shows, he immediately took over the matter. He had also been guided by Chu Xiang on how to record a variety show well. He was used to it. At that time, he had made a lot of notes. They were all his experience and were solid. He immediately sorted out his notes and sent them to his 2 fellow disciples. In any case, he would rather tire himself out so that Chu Xiang could focus more of her energy on him. Chu Xiang was happy and relaxed. Seeing that he took over, she didn't care. Mu Sun studied very seriously after receiving the notes. Xia Lingling didn't need to. She was a CP fan who was lying at the bottom of the pit. She studied the notes as if she was on steroids. She swore that she wouldn't let them down. Otherwise, she might lose the opportunity to chase after the CP. Many people in the entertainment industry knew that Chu Xiang had signed 2 new artists. They all thought that she would definitely support the newcomers and put Feng Zhenxuan, who was already popular, aside. Who knew that she still followed Feng Zhenxuan into the crew, which made the fresh meat who were afraid of Feng Zhenxuan feel disheartened. They felt that there was really no chance to surpass Feng Zhenxuan. If Chu Xiang had been supporting Feng Zhenxuan, then Feng Zhenxuan's era might have come. Especially not long after Chu Xiang signed the newcomers, Feng Zhenxuan officially announced 3 endorsements. All of them were high-quality endorsements. The 2 newly signed artists were also on high-quality variety shows. This made it impossible for people to gossip and sow discord. Which of these resources weren't coveted by many stars? Chu Xiang was really good to her artists. Mu Sun and Xia Lingling's few fans were overjoyed. They beat gongs and drums and cried tears of joy for their idols. That was Chu Xiang, the most popular agent in the entertainment industry this year. Such a good thing actually fell on their heads. Their idols were going to be popular soon. Their fans started to pay attention to Chu Xiang. They left private messages to Chu Xiang and flattered her. Chu Xiang was so amused that she shared it with Mu Sun and Xiao Lingling, asking them to perform well. Fang Zhenxuan quickly finished filming the scenes of turning, and smoothly finished filming. He treated the entire crew to a meal, and then said goodbye to turning. Taking advantage of the gap between filming the variety show, he filmed several promotional videos and posters for the endorsements. The original endorsements also needed to be filmed for the new material. When filming the ZX watch, Chu Xiang met Chen Lifeng there. Chen Lifeng saw Chu Xiang and walked over. "Are you free? I want to talk to you alone." Many people were watching. Chu Xiang smiled and said, "Okay, let's go to the cafe next door." She gave Fang Zhenxuan a look that said it was fine, and went to the cafe with Chen Lifeng. Chen Lifeng noticed her gaze and sneered after entering the private room. "You're really good to him. You're much more attentive than you were to me before." Chu Xiang stirred the coffee with a spoon and said casually, "He's good to me, so of course I'm good to him. If he betrays me one day, I'll definitely make him die a horrible death." Chen Lifeng heard the hint in her words, and all the suppressed anger came out. He felt like he was gnashing his teeth. "Chu Xiang, do you have to be so heartless? We've been together for 8 years, and we have some feelings for each other. You've hurt me time and time again, and now you've stolen 3 of my endorsements. Are you done?" Chu Xiang took a sip of the coffee and showed an expression of enjoyment. "The coffee here is delicious, but it's a pity that you ruined my mood." She looked at Chen Lifeng with a smile that was not a smile. "Why? Didn't you think about our 8 years of relationship when you hurt me? Now you're playing the emotional card with me after suffering the consequences of your own actions? Have you forgotten that I wasn't the one who made the first move when you were at a disadvantage? You were the one who had bad intentions, and in the end, you suffered the backlash. Can't you take it anymore?" Chen Lifeng was so angry that his eyes were red. "What will it take for you to let it go? Our matter is over, and I won't do anything in the future. I promise, you won't mess with me either. We'll stay out of each other's business." Chu Xiang chuckled and suddenly splashed the hot coffee on his face. Chu Xiang, are you crazy?" Chen Lifeng stood up abruptly and hurriedly grabbed a few pieces of tissue to wipe his face. The coffee didn't burn his skin, but the temperature still made his skin hurt. He didn't need to look in the mirror to know that it was red. Chu Xiang stood up. "I splashed this cup of coffee on behalf of the previous Chu Xiang. Chen Lifeng, I don't need to do anything to you anymore. Do you think you can still be popular? Do you think that the person I think highly of will definitely be popular? Then to tell you the truth, I don't think highly of you." Chu Xiang smiled slightly. "Don't look for me again. Otherwise, I can't guarantee what I'll splash the next time." Chu Xiang took her bag and phone and left, leaving Chen Lifeng cursing in the private room. He didn't dare to chase after her for fear of being photographed, so he could only call his assistant to send his clothes over. He never thought that Chu Xiang would treat him like this. At this moment, all his regret had turned into hatred for Chu Xiang. At the same time, his decision to terminate his contract became firmer. His contract had expired. He originally regretted changing managers and wanted to try again to pull Chu Xiang back. Chu Xiang had made Fang Zhenxuan popular so quickly, and he was envious of it. Moreover, Chu Xiang had somehow earned so much money and became much younger and prettier. He thought of how Chu Xiang had always loved him in the past, so he was tempted to marry Chu Xiang. Who knew that before he could take action, Chu Xiang had snatched away 3 endorsements and now had coffee splashed on his face. He could see that Chu Xiang would never turn back. Now that Chu Xiang had a very good relationship with the company, and Fang Zhenxuan was also very strong. He had even signed an VM agreement, so the company's resources were all tilted towards Fang Zhenxuan. Since he and Chu Xiang had a grudge, this situation was very unfavorable for him. Fortunately, he still had Zhou Yuan and Hong Yao to rely on. Chen Lifeng left Xingchen Entertainment angrily and joined Zhou Yuan's studio as a partner. Liu still had a few artists in Xingchen. Although they didn't have any representative works, they had good traffic and were quite profitable. He didn't leave with Chen Lifeng, so Chen Lifeng changed managers again in just half a year. This time, his fans didn't care much and didn't even make a splash. Only then did he realize in shock that he did not know when it started, but his fans did not have Lianchu's enthusiasm. This was actually a precursor to losing fans. There were also many fans who didn't like Zhou Yuan. When they saw that he had joined Zhou Yuan's studio, they laughed and closed their microphones. It was no different from losing fans. Chen Lifeng carefully recalled what had happened in the past 6 months. But no matter how he thought about it, he couldn't think of anything that Chu Xiang had done. He could only think of a few times when his fans went to strangle Chu Xiang, only to find out that the news wasn't true. It was a bit of a slap in the face. Could it be that the fans were defeated like this? In fact, he had planted a mine when he exposed his relationship. If he had diverted the attention, it would have been fine. But in the end, the fans scolded Chu Xiang for being slapped in the face for a long time. So they became angry and came back to scold Zhou Yuan. But he and Zhou Yuan went on a love variety show. At that time, the fans were scared of him and felt like they weren't cared about. But there was a couple in that love variety show that was very sweet and loving. He and Zhou Yuan hadn't been together for long, so many details showed that they weren't that sweet. Not to mention the episode where Fang Zhenxuan went. Zhou Yuan answered the questions, and was obviously unwilling to sacrifice her life for her lover. Although the fans weren't willing to sacrifice themselves, seeing Zhou Yuan like this made them even more disgusted. At the same time, Chu Xiang's excellence made Chen Lifeng's fans puzzled. Why did Chen Lifeng change such a good manager? Did water enter his brain? Of course, the fans were willing to believe that Chu Xiang followed Chen Lifeng for 8 years because of love. The more they thought about it, the more they felt that Zhou Yuan must have been jealous and asked Chen Lifeng to change Chu Xiang. Wasn't Chen Lifeng in love? Compared to Zhou Yuan, they were more willing to see Chen Lifeng and Chu Xiang together. At least Chu Xiang was all around beautiful and rich, and she was so good at flattering people. What was Zhou Yuan good at? Looking at Fang Zhenxuan's side, and their side feeling aggrieved. How could Chen Lifeng's fans still passionately defend him? Instead, they felt that Chen Lifeng had done it himself. They felt that his image had collapsed. There were too many people who were no longer fans, and even the die-hard fans weren't very willing to fight again. Who knew if they would be slapped in the face again? Chen Lifeng didn't understand the psychology of fans, nor did he know how it had become like this step by step. He was just anxious and felt that he had to have better resources. Since there was no hope for Chu Xiang, and he had joined Zhou Yuan's studio, he implemented what he had planned in private, which was to let Zhou Yuan have a baby. Zhou Yuan's reluctance to give up her current job was one thing, and her accidental pregnancy was another. He knew that Zhou Yuan was also eager to get married and have children, so he helped Zhou Yuan make this decision. Chen Lifeng's mind was buzzing with excitement, but he had changed places. In the entertainment industry, there were no ripples at all. Although Ying was the best actor, there were many people in the entertainment industry who had won the Best Actor and Best Actress trophies. After they won them, they slowly faded away, and there were even many people who forgot about them. Since there was no commotion, there was less and less attention to him. Fang Zhenxuan took Xian to film a variety show. When they arrived at the airport, there were several station sisters and hundreds of fans taking photos of them. Xian held Fang Zhenxuan's hand in one hand and Chu Xiang's hand in the other. She wore a mask on her face and a beret on her head. She curiously opened her big eyes and looked at these sisters who were taking photos. The fans were all mesmerized by her cute eyes and kept saying, "So cute." Then they saw their baby's eyes smile into crescents. There were 2 station sisters who were wearing red clothes, and they were quite eye-catching. Xian looked over, and was surprised to see the word Xiang written on their clothes. She immediately shook Chu Xiang's hand and looked up at her. "Sister, look, that word is your name." Chu Xiang followed her gaze and looked over. She said in surprise, "You guys," the 2 girls laughed excitedly. "Sister Xiang. Xiang, we are your station sisters." "Yes, it's just like what you think." Chu Xiang looked at them in surprise and laughed. "Why are you fans of me? I really won't debut." Usually, in order to not cause chaos at the airport, artists would walk all the way inside without any expression. At most, they would thank everyone at the end. Now that Chu Xiang was talking to her fans, everyone was very happy. especially the two station sisters, who immediately incoherently expressed their love for Chu Xiang. Sister Xiang, you're really amazing. You're my idol. I'm not a fan of stars, I'm a fan of you. Sister Xiang, you really have a lot of fans. You should give us more benefits. Don't just think about your artists. Fang Zhenxuan chuckled and turned to Chu Xiang. Why don't you give us a benefit every time we add 1 million fans? His fans immediately suppressed a scream. Zhenxuan, you have to do it yourself. There were also hidden CP fans among the fans. When they saw Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan looking at each other and smiling, they were so happy that they almost fainted. Their fingers kept taking photos and even took videos. They were so busy that they didn't have time to look at the road. Chu Xiang was afraid that the fans' voices would affect others, so she hurriedly said, "Everyone, pay attention to your safety and be quiet. If we have anything to say, post it on Weibo." In the end, Chu Xiang received a stack of letters from her fans and thanked everyone together with Fang Zhenxuan. Chu Xiang now not only had a station sister, but also her own Weibo. Every time her fans signed in and posted, they competed with other stars' Weibo for rankings. Chu Xiang didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She didn't know what they were fighting for. She really didn't want to debut. When they got on the plane and got off the plane, their airport photos would appear first in the Weibo. Of course, the OnlyFans posted photos of their idols. Sometimes, when they took photos of the people next to them that couldn't be cut out, they blurred it. However, Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan's fans had always regarded each other as family, and no one would blur each other's photos. This led to many of their airport photos being like group photos. The man was handsome, and the woman was beautiful. Whether they were CP fans or not, they all liked the atmosphere between them. Especially this time, there was an extra xinshin between them. They were holding each other's hands. They really looked like a family of three. Because Fang Zhenxuan and Xinshin both wore masks, only Chu Xiang as the agent didn't cover herself. Fang Zhenxuan's fans didn't resist and climbed over Chu Xiang's wall. She was so beautiful. Which girl didn't want to be as beautiful as her at the age of 30? Moreover, she was very good to her fans. Her fans who had seen her could feel that she liked them. She really liked them. When she looked at them, her eyes were full of smiles. How could Fang Zhenxuan's fans hate her? It would never be possible, but it was very likely to develop into a double burden. Very few people who followed the scene didn't have double burden. Even if they didn't like CP, they liked both of them at the same time. After all, both of them were so good. The most direct expression of fans' love was to crazily post on Weibo, praising and promoting their idols in all kinds of ways. Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang were on the hot search again. This time, it was only because of an airport video. Chu Xiang, an agent, actually had a Weibo. Fang Zhenxuan listened to the Weibo and actually urged Chu Xiang to give fans benefits. The scene in the video was so loving. The CP fans added a beautiful filter to the video and added it to the Zhenxiang superfans. Looking at the smiles in their eyes, who would dare to think that the CP wasn't real? This summer, the Zhenxiang CP was deeply rooted in the hearts of the fans. The variety show wasn't filmed all the time. It would be filmed in one city every 2 episodes. After a break, it would change to another city. Only the Journey Detective crew was left to film. After coordination, Fang Zhenxuan ran between the variety show and the movie. Naturally, Chu Xiang and Xian did the same. In a short period of time, the three of them had a lot more pictures. In the hearts of the Zhenxiang CP fans, they were like a family of 3. After filming 6 episodes, the variety show was broadcast. The summer break had just passed and Fang Zhenxuan's popularity had yet to die down. Once the variety show was released, it became a large-scale show that attracted his fans. The fathers in the variety show were all taking care of their children for the first time. Furthermore, they were traveling, so it was inevitable that they would be flustered. Sometimes, they wouldn't even know why their children were crying. They would just scratch their ears and cheeks. Fang Zhenxuan was different. He had personally taken care of Xian from the age of 1 to 5. He took care of her with ease. Xian was also very mature and obedient, just like a cute doll. The two of them could cooperate well every time to complete the difficult tasks given by the production team. Then they still had the energy to help the others. Xian wasn't the oldest or the youngest among the children. In the end, she became the leader of the children in 2 episodes. She was clearly very gentle and cute, and her words were soft and sweet, but the other children were willing to listen to her. She was really able to take care of them in an orderly manner. She was a great help to the fathers. Feng Zhenxuan also imparted a lot of experience to the fathers. The comments were full of exclamations. Some mothers felt that they weren't as good as Feng Zhenxuan at taking care of their children. This show made many viewers fall in love with Feng Zhenxuan and Xian. They also witnessed their extraordinary chemistry. Almost everyone knew that Feng Zhenxuan was a top student, but the viewers didn't expect Xian to be so smart and quick-witted. She was only 5 years old. She should be at the age to be playful and coquettish, but she became the other family's child in everyone's eyes. When everyone thought that she had no parents, they couldn't help but feel sorry for her. At the same time, they couldn't help but like her. But in this season's show, Xian was the most popular child. There were many people who liked to raise children. When Xian opened her Weibo, the number of fans increased rapidly. Although many of them were fans of the 3 families included in the Zhenxiang army, Xian was so cute that she attracted a lot of mother fans. They liked her very much. Coincidentally, the 2 children's dramas that Xian had acted in before had been broadcasted, so Chu Xiang helped her promote it. Only then did everyone know that Xian was also an artiste signed by Chu Xiang. She had even acted in a drama before. The artists in the circle who wanted to be famous but had no way out were jealous. Feng Zhenxuan was lucky. Even Feng Zhenxuan's niece was lucky. She directly enjoyed such a high-level manager like Chu Xiang. If Xian really wanted to develop in the entertainment industry in the future, it would be a dream if she didn't want to be famous. Xian had never traveled before. In fact, Chu Xiang had taken this variety show into consideration. During the recording process, they went to 6 different cities. Every recording was like a trip. After every recording, Chu Xiang and Feng Zhenxuan would take Xian to travel around the local area to experience the local customs and characteristics. It was true that reading 10,000 books was not as good as traveling 10,000 miles. Although Xian was still alive, she might not remember that she had been to these places when she grew up. However, the different experiences had a significant impact on her. Xian obviously liked to smile more and more, and became more cheerful. Her sensitive personality slowly became sunny, and she became a girl that everyone loved. Chu Xiang had secretly helped her to nurse her body. The premature birth had little impact on Xian. Xian had grown to the height and weight that she should have at this age. She was even a little chubby. She was cute, sweet, and lively. At the age of 5, she was a beauty. Who wouldn't like her? The recording of the variety show ended quickly. After that, Chu Xiang, Feng Zhenxuan, and Xian stayed on the set and focused on shooting the New Year's movie. This was Feng Zhenxuan and Xian's electrocution movie. They had to strive for perfection. In the comedy film, if they could highlight their superb acting skills, the effect would be doubled. They had to devote themselves wholeheartedly. Feng Zhenxuan's works on the screen continued until the New Year's movie. In addition, there were legal dramas and extreme mode that would be broadcast during summer next year. It was enough. Chu Xiang didn't give him any more work. After being busy for half a year, he should take a rest. However, they could still accept endorsements. They had worn branded clothes for so long. It was time for them to get an important international endorsement. Chapter 227. Chu Xiang had thousands of ways to fish. This time, she shot a video of Feng Zhenxuan and Xian fooling around on the set as a benefit for Xian's fans on Weibo. Of course, this couldn't be an ordinary video. In the video, Feng Zhenxuan and Xian were doing a fashion show in a corner of the set. The 2 of them took turns going into the room to change clothes and taking turns to walk as models. Chu Xiang had specially done their hair and makeup for them, and she had also specially trained them. When they walked as models, their fashion sense was overwhelming. The most important thing was that the two of them didn't wear big brands every time. Because it was fun. They also wore the set's costumes, dozens of yuan t-shirts, raincoats, gunny sacks, and so on. They made use of a lot of elements at hand. In fact, these were all made for them by Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang was in the room where they changed clothes. Therefore, the fans couldn't take their eyes off the video. Except for the gunny sacks, which were more obvious and could be seen at a glance, the other clothes were all from international brands. After all, Chu Xiang was a tycoon, and she had always made clothes from international brands. There was no exception. It had become a kind of fun for everyone to look for the same style. Every time they saw them appear, they would use the fastest speed to find out the brand, style, and price. Some fans would get the same style without financial pressure, and they would feel sweet in their hearts when they wore the same clothes as their idols. However, this time, everyone only managed to dig out half of the clothes. Later on, someone was shocked to discover that several sets of clothes were from Taobao. They were the kind of clothes that many stores were selling. There was nothing special about them, and they were not expensive at all. Why didn't they find out at all? The fans took pictures of Fang Zhenxuan and Xian wearing the popular clothes. A bunch of people licked the screen and hammered the two's appearance and fashion fortune. They even used many exquisite pictures of Taobao's sellers for comparison. It turned out that the best sellers show was not as good as Fang Zhenxuan and Xian's clothes. The two of them had simply multiplied the value of these clothes by several times. Who could tell that they were wearing clothes that were not more than 200 yuan? What was fashion sense? What was high-end sense? This was they wanted to buy it when they saw it. After digging out all these, the fans found that there was also a thin dark blue hooded long coat. They couldn't find it no matter how hard they looked. The problem was that Fang Zhenxuan looked really handsome when he wore it. He wasn't buttoned up, and he was wearing a simple shirt with a silver necklace around his neck. When he walked towards the camera, he lowered his head slightly and looked up at the camera. So handsome. What an aura. It was simply an A-bomb. But why couldn't she find a similar design for this dress? After searching for half a day, the fans gave up and went to Chu Xiang's Weibo to leave comments and private messages, begging for the same design as the jacket. This was because they felt that the jacket could be worn by a girl as well. It would definitely look very cool, so they really wanted it. This was the effect that Chu Xiang wanted. She simply took a picture of the jacket and gave them the answer. Do you have this? A raincoat that cost 35 yuan. It rained yesterday, so I bought it from the supermarket. Boss, are you serious? A raincoat? Damn. Now that he thought about it, it seemed to be true. But why was the cocoa raincoat so beautiful? I'm going to buy the same raincoat. I don't believe it. Sister Xiang, don't tease us. This must be a new design by a brand that imitates the raincoat, right? We know Sister Xiang's tricks. Is it a new endorsement? The raincoat is fine. Tell me which brand it is and I'll buy it immediately. That. I happened to be near the set, so I went to the supermarket to look. Look, is it this raincoat? It's a real 35 yuan raincoat. Picture. A fan bought the raincoat and posted a picture of the raincoat. She also posted a picture of herself wearing the raincoat to cover her face. It really was a raincoat. The fans didn't seem to like the dress that much when they wanted to buy it, but now that it was confirmed that it was really a raincoat, the comments immediately flooded the Weibo. Everyone couldn't believe that Fang Zhenxuan had actually worn a 35 yuan raincoat, as if it was a high-end design. The key point was that even if they knew that it was a raincoat, it still didn't look like a raincoat. Soon, a fan sent a frontline report back. She rushed to the supermarket and didn't buy the raincoat. That meant that the same 35 yuan raincoat had been sold out. Immediately after, fans in other cities found the same raincoat. Some were even cheaper, buying it for 30 yuan. Because the news of the raincoat becoming a high-end design was too shocking, everyone could wear it, it was cheap, and it was very fun, so many fans ran to buy it. For a time, the Weibo of the Weibo post was full of news about the raincoat. Fang Zhenxuan's 35 yuan high-end raincoat #Airborne hot search directly reached 8th place, and continued to rise. It might sound ridiculous that a raincoat could cause a rush to buy it, but this was traffic. It didn't seem meaningful to others, but fans were filled with joy. If chasing a celebrity could make them happy, wouldn't it be the most worthwhile thing? Fang Zhenxuan had made a lot of appearances in the entertainment industry. This time, the high-end raincoat made an appearance in the entertainment industry again, attracting attention from all walks of life. Once again, they sighed at Fang Zhenxuan's super influence. At the same time, it was the first time they saw him as a person with a good sense of fashion. Some people looked like ordinary clothes even when they wore high-end clothes, while others could make people unable to take their eyes off them when they casually wore it. This was related to appearance, figure, height, and temperament. Fang Zhenxuan didn't need to train to do this. This was also why Chu Xiang had let him wear all kinds of high-end brands from the beginning. It was because he was capable enough. Now that he had enough traffic in coffee, it was time to close the net. Fang Zhenxuan and Xinqin's raincoats of the same style, and the same style of a certain brand's hot item flooded Weibo. The price was cheap, and fans crazily wanted the same style. Even the big brands they wore had many fans who didn't have any financial burden to buy the same style. This ability to sell goods could be said to be very superior. It was impossible to ignore it. After this incident, Chu Xiang successfully negotiated for Fang Zhenxuan to be the domestic ambassador of an international first-tier brand. This brand not only had men's, women's, and children's clothing, but also skincare products, makeup, shoes, bags, and jewelry. This made the fans happy. It was only men's clothing that they couldn't buy. Now that it was a full line, once the endorsement was announced, they began to crazily sell the list. Bags that cost tens of thousands, women's clothing that cost tens of thousands. And if they couldn't buy the expensive ones, anyone could buy the lipstick that cost 300 yuan. If it was endorsed by an idol, they must support it. Not only were the legal core selling the list, but Chu Xiang's fans and Zhen Xiang's CP fans were also selling the list. After Fang Zhenxuan became the ambassador, Chu Xiang, Fang Zhenxuan, and Xinqin all started to use this brand's products. From head to toe, including the lipstick in Chu Xiang's bag that was revealed when she received her passport at the airport, they were all from this brand. They could get many of the same style from this brand. The brand signed Fang Zhenxuan as the ambassador, but they got 3 endorsements. With the influence of Chu Xiang's women's clothing and Xinqin's cute baby influence, the brand made a profit. Chu Xiang did this to catch a big fish. There would always be a place to take back the benefits that were given out. They could still cause such a big commotion when they were filming in seclusion. Mu Sun and Xia Lingling's variety show was popular, so the commotion was even bigger. Chu Xiang didn't ignore them at all. Mu Sun's performance in the acting variety show was outstanding. After just 3 episodes, he became the popular champion and became a hot topic. Of course, Chu Xiang wanted to give him some support. She carefully edited all the episodes that he had acted in the past, and skillfully mixed them together to form a short film of his past life and present life. She posted on Weibo and called him a hidden treasure. Chu Xiang's fans naturally supported everyone that their idol supported. As soon as they saw the Weibo, they quickly forwarded it. Zhen Xiang's CP fans also supported Chu Xiang. Even a part of the legal core supported their idol's new partner, Mu Sun, and forwarded it. With the popularity of the program team and Chu Xiang, and the video was really good, the topic hashtag Mu Sun is the treasure that Chu Xiang found hashtag rushed to the hot topic. It was very popular. Everyone wanted to know how good the treasure that Chu Xiang had unearthed was. Why didn't Chu Xiang sign anyone else but him? Furthermore, he wasn't some newbie. No one knew his name even after 5 years in the industry. Was he really a treasure? Then, everyone watched the video and was stunned by Mu Sun's superb acting skills. He had such good acting skills and was so handsome. Why didn't anyone have any impression of him? Many people went to watch Mu Sun's variety show. They felt that he was really suitable for this show. Every time he performed in a competition, his acting skills could be highlighted. He could act in comedies, tragedies, outbursts, and introverts. He could actually act in all of them. Moreover, after he got into character, he would be completely immersed. It was completely different from his silence when he was out of character. What kind of contrast was this? There were also people who specially went to watch the TV series that Mu Sun had acted in before. Some of the TV series weren't good at all, but Mu Sen's scenes could still retain the audience's attention. How did he get buried? Mu Sen's fans were very excited. Their treasure had finally been discovered. They hurriedly explained to everyone how Mu Sen was suppressed by Hong Yao. Then, when his contract expired, he was poached by Chu Xiang. Their gratitude to Chu Xiang was like an endless river. The passers-by could feel that they were really grateful to Chu Xiang. At the same time, Mu Sen was really a treasure that had been hidden. Mu Sen gained a lot of fans. Some of them were originally members of the True Fragrance Army. After all, the concept of Rao was deeply ingrained in their minds. Under the circumstances where Mu Sen was so outstanding and didn't have any negative news, they supported their own people and started to pay attention to Mu. Senator Mu Sen was labeled as a treasure of acting and Chu Xiang. He had already vaguely paved the way for his popularity and was just waiting for a good show to appear. This made Xia Lingling's fans anxious and expectant. They were anxious that Sister Xiang hadn't arranged for Lingling to appear. They were anticipating that with Sister Xiang around, Lingling's meteoric rise would be just around the corner. Chu Xiang didn't make them wait for long. She had asked Xia Lingling to film the variety show for the sake of popularity. Of course, she wouldn't miss this opportunity. She personally went to Xia Lingling's variety show recording location and stood with the director at a place where the camera couldn't capture. However, the live audience could see her. From the moment she appeared, they started shouting crazily, "Sister Xiang! Sister Xiang Xiang! Ah, Sister Xiang is here to watch Lingling's recording. It's Chu Xiang. I actually saw the most popular manager in the flesh. Chu Xiang! Chu Xiang! Chu Xiang is so beautiful. You're so beautiful." Chu Xiang was originally talking to the director with her arms crossed. When she heard this, she turned to face the fans and waved with a smile. Then she made a shoe gesture. The fans immediately quieted down and waved at her with smiles on their faces. The director was shocked. When he came back to his senses, he looked at the excited fans and then at Chu Xiang. He laughed and said, "Those who don't know would think that you're the main guest for this episode. They don't seem to be fans of the same group, right? Why are they so passionate about you?" Chu Xiang shrugged. "I don't know either. Lingling isn't famous yet. There are only a few fans here. Most of them should be Peng Zhe's fans. They're probably just here to join in the fun." The director scratched the back of his head. "That's right. Peng Zhe is a fresh meat. Most of the fans here are his. Could it be that they want you to poach Peng Zhe over? Haha. Of course, this was a joke. Forget it if it passed." The filming of the show started immediately. Xia Lingling went on stage and immediately smiled sweetly at Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang was afraid that she would be nervous because of her presence, so she went over to help her adjust her collar and encouraged her. "Don't be nervous. Perform well." Xia Lingling nodded repeatedly, her face full of smiles. "Don't worry, Sister Xiang. I definitely won't let you down." Chu Xiang blinked. She felt that the girl in front of her was unusually excited and not nervous at all. "Very good. Perform well then." Chu Xiang stood by the side and watched as Xia Lingling revealed a lively and cheerful smile. She happily played games with the others. When it was necessary, she played jokes. When it was necessary, she played funny. She didn't have stage fright at all. When it was time for the microphone segment, Xia Lingling even showed off her amazing memory and superb imitation skills. She passed on what the first person had shown to the second person without missing a beat, causing the fans present to exclaim in surprise. However, Xia Lingling was too focused on one of the games. She missed a step and fell down the stairs. The director immediately called for a stop. At the same time, Chu Xiang ran over and held Xia Lingling in her arms to check her knee. "How are you?" Xia Lingling even forgot about the pain. She leaned into Chu Xiang's arms, her face red. "I am fine. Ahem, Sister Xiang, don't worry. It's just a fall. I'm fine." Chu Xiang used to be a doctor. After checking, she knew that she was fine. At most, it was just a slight bruise. She helped her up and said, "Be careful." Xia Lingling stood properly and nodded repeatedly, looking very obedient. Only then did Chu Xiang step back and let them continue filming. The process from the fans' worries to calming down was very short. Their attention had shifted to another matter. Chu Xiang was so aggressive. The moment Xia Lingling was hugged by Chu Xiang, they felt an indescribable sense of security. Seeing Xia Lingling's red face being so obedient, some fans couldn't help but scream. She was so loving. They also wanted to be protected by Chu Xiang. After this episode, Peng Zhe's other fans had been waiting for the fan repo, who knew that there would be a lot of descriptions of Chu Xiang in the repo, especially when Chu Xiang shushed the fans and rushed onto the stage to hug Xia Lingling. It was described as aggressive by the fans. This made many fans' hearts itch. They really wanted to go and see the legendary Chu Xiang live. Following that, Chu Xiang's super post was a picture of the airport. In the picture, there was not only Chu Xiang, but also Xia Lingling. Chu Xiang's artists all continued Fang Zhenxuan's style. Ever since they signed under Chu Xiang's name, they had to wear branded clothes when they appeared, and they were all handsome and beautiful. Xia Lingling walked beside Chu Xiang. She had a completely different beauty style from Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang's lips were fiery red, and she was wearing a tailored casual suit. Xia Lingling was wearing a one-piece dress with a fluffy rabbit doll hanging on it. She looked pure and cute, and when she smiled, she had a sweet feeling. Not only were the two beauties pleasing to the eye, but they also made some fans feel like they were a couple. Every time Xia Lingling looked at Chu Xiang, there were stars in her eyes. If this wasn't love, what was it? However, the moment this couple appeared, it was pushed back by the Zhenxiang couple fans. Xiang was Zhenxuan's, so she could never be a couple with others. Of course, because she was an artist supported by Sister Xiang, the Zhenxiang couple fans didn't pinch Xia Lingling. Instead, they fully affirmed her cuteness, but forming a couple was absolutely impossible. Xia Lingling herself was a Zhenxiang couple fan. Of course, she paid attention to her family's every move. If someone wanted to break up the couple, she would be the first to disagree. When she saw this at the airport while waiting for the plane, she quickly posted on Weibo to express her stance. To tell you the truth, I'm a fan of Sister Xiang. Every time I see Sister Xiang, I have stars in my eyes. Today is the happiest day of my life. I'll work hard and definitely won't let Sister Xiang down. The netizens suddenly realized that she was a fan. No wonder her eyes were so bright when she looked at Chu Xiang. So all the shyness was fake. Her face was all red because she was excited. Who wouldn't be excited to be hugged by their idol? Not to mention that their idol was accompanying her to and from work on the plane. It was too exciting. The couple disappeared without a trace. Chu Xiang set up special attention for all four of her artists. As soon as Xia Lingling posted on Weibo, she knew about it and followed this Weibo to understand the ins and outs of the matter. After Xia Lingling posted on Weibo, she remembered that she had an agent now. If she wanted to make a living in the entertainment industry, she couldn't casually post on Weibo. She looked at Chu Xiang and asked nervously while holding her phone, "Sister Xiang, what I posted, is there any problem? I just didn't want everyone to misunderstand. I was afraid that they would quarrel." Chu Xiang smiled at her. "It's okay. There are some things on Weibo that are not suitable for posting. I'll ask Lin to tell you about it later. But it's okay for us to interact with each other. You don't have to be so reserved." Then she forwarded Xia Lingling's Weibo and said, "Good girl, good luck." This time, the netizens really felt that there was a lot of love. Chu Xiang doted on her artists and her fans. Someone photoshopped a Chu family photo. Chu Xiang was at the front. Fang Zhenxuan was holding Xinxin's hand on her left, Mu Sun and Xia Lingling were behind her on her right, and Fang Yuan, Lin, and the assistant and bodyguard were further behind and further to the side. At first glance, it looked so cool. The So Fragrant couple fans immediately photoshopped another family photo. The biggest difference was that Xinxin was holding Fang Zhenxuan's hand in one hand and Chu Xiang's hand in the other. Mu Sun and Xia Lingling were behind them on both sides, and the assistant and the rest were further behind. This photo was even more exquisite. It was very obvious that there was a So Fragrant watermark at the bottom right corner of the photo. Even the watermark was designed to look very good, and it looked like a seal. Keeping Fang Zhenxuan at the front was the stubbornness of the couple fans. Fortunately, no matter how they played, they didn't quarrel. They each loved their own things. When they saw that the other's photos were good, they would even save them. It was really very harmonious. After the Chu family photo joke was brought up, Chu Xiang and her artists were called the Chu family. It really looked very cool. After all this trouble, hashtag Xiaolingling is Chu Xiang's fan hashtag became a trending topic. When Chu Xiang's fans promoted Chu Xiang, they didn't forget to promote Xiaolingling's beautiful photos and episodes together. The person that Chu Xiang wanted to promote was the person that they wanted to promote. Now that Chu Xiang had 6 million fans, they were all equivalent to her Erao fans. If anything happened, they would help. The internet was bustling. Chu Xiang and Xiaolingling's plane also landed. When Chu Xiang's sister, who was waiting outside, saw Chu Xiang come out, she saw a man wearing a hat, sunglasses, and a mask come forward to take Chu Xiang's suitcase. The sister had followed Chu Xiang too many times and her eyes lit up. Wasn't this Fang Zhenxuan? Sister Zhan immediately started taking pictures of the three of them. The stars in Xiaolingling's eyes were not fake. The moment she saw Fang Zhenxuan take the suitcase, she was so excited that she almost bit her tongue. Xian came to pick up Xiang. What a clingy wolf dog. Did he see the new couple online and come to declare his sovereignty? Ha ha. When Fang Zhenxuan looked up and met Xiaolingling's gaze, he was stunned. What was wrong with this girl? Was she so happy to be on a plane with her idol? He smiled at her and nodded, and they walked out together. Xiaolingling felt that they were a couple in her heart. Of course, she wouldn't get too close to them. She held back her excitement and silently put some distance between them. Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan didn't notice, but the sister noticed when she checked the photos. After the photos were posted, the fans laughed. They all felt that Xiaolingling was scared by the couple on the internet. She was afraid of being torn apart by the Zhenxiang couple fans, but her desire to live was strong. Many Zhenxiang couple fans left comments on her Weibo. Lingling, you're too cute. Don't be afraid. You're our little sister. They definitely won't tear you apart. Of course, we can't form a couple. Xiaolingling was speechless. She was one of them. What was there to be afraid of? She suppressed her restless heart. This feeling of being the only one who knew the truth was suffocating her. However, as long as she could get close to the couple, she would do anything. Xiaolingling received Chu Xiang's invitation as she wished. She had dinner with Chu Xiang, Fang Zhenxuan, and Xian. During the meal, she saw Fang Zhenxuan order several dishes that Chu Xiang liked. She saw Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan wipe Xian's mouth and pick up food for her. She saw Chu Xiang look up and Fang Zhenxuan pour the teapot she wanted for her. She also saw Chu Xiang eat a delicious biscuit and share it with Fang Zhenxuan immediately. There were too many loving details. What kind of sweets did she eat in the past? This was the real sweets that could kill her. Xiaolingling's face turned red after the meal. Xian saw it and said in surprise, "Sister Lingling, are you hot?" Xiaolingling quickly shook her head. "Baby, I'm not hot." She accidentally called out the fan's nickname for Xian. She looked at Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang and smiled when she saw that they didn't have any reaction. Maybe it was a little spicy just now. It's okay, I'll be fine after drinking some water. Hearing this, Chu Xiang looked up at her and smiled knowingly. This die-hard couple fan probably wasn't hot or spicy, but excited, right? Xiaolingling finally couldn't hold it in anymore. She picked up her phone and asked tentatively, "Sister Xiang, Brother Xian, can I take a picture?" "Don't worry, I won't send it out. I'll keep it for myself." Fang Zhenxuan smiled. "Take a picture of us?" "Sure, it's okay if you send it out." Xiaolingling quickly explained, "No, that I want to take a picture of you guys. It's just that from this angle, I feel that the scene of you guys eating is so beautiful. Really, can I take it?" Chu Xiang knew that her CP soul was restless, so of course she had to satisfy her fans. She smiled and hugged Xian. "Take it." Fang Zhenxuan tilted his head towards Xian, his arm still on the back of Xian's chair. From Xiaolingling's point of view, it looked like a mother hugging her daughter, and a father hugging his mother. It looked like a warm family of three. She immediately found a good angle and quickly took 7 or 8 pictures. This was the first real family photo. Xiao Lingling held her phone tightly, afraid that she would lose it. She was so excited that her face turned even redder. Xian even handed her a bottle of mineral water. She treated it as a gift and was overjoyed. After the meal, they sent Xiao Lingling home first. As a CP fan, Xiao Lingling felt that she had saved the universe and ran around the building 10 times. On the way back, Fang Zhenxuan even teased Chu Xiang. Lingling really likes you. She's always so excited in front of you. Chu Xiang did not correct him and smiled. It's best that a family's hearts are on the same side. I'm also very lucky to be able to sign on such a cute girl. If there's a chance in the future, let's expand our Chu family into a force in the entertainment industry. Sure, clan head. I'll listen to you. After Fang Zhenxuan smiled, he heard Xian's childish voice. If Sister Xiang is the clan head, then am I the princess of the clan? Yes. You're our cutest and prettiest princess. Chu Xiang hugged her and kissed her tender cheeks. Xian immediately hugged Chu Xiang's neck and kissed her heavily. Fang Zhenxuan turned to look out of the car window. For some reason he suddenly thought of Xian's words. You have the heart but no guts. Indeed, Xian had kissed his sweetheart before him. His strongest love rival came from his child. Xiao Lingling's variety show quickly aired that episode. Of course, Chu Xiang's scenes were all cut out. However, Xiao Lingling's performance was unexpectedly very outstanding. Some people said that she was worthy of being the top student of the Film and Television Academy. Her professional abilities were top-notch. She memorized lines in seconds and got full marks for imitation. Her eyes and expressions were so lively. If she acted as a young girl, it would definitely be very good. Also, Xiao Lingling was not shy in front of her seniors. She did not have stage fright even though it was her first time on a variety show. She sang a few lines and danced when she was asked to. She even caught her seniors' jokes a few times and made everyone laugh. This sense of variety was very strong. For some reason, some of the audience thought of Fang Zhenxuan's first appearance in extreme mode. Xiao Lingling vaguely felt like a female version of Fang Zhenxuan in the variety show. As soon as this guest came out, the fans felt that this feeling was becoming more and more obvious. Seeing this, Xiao Lingling's heart skipped a beat. She was afraid that people would think that she was deliberately imitating Fang Zhenxuan to gain popularity, so she quickly posted on Weibo. Brother Xian shared his experience from recording the show with me. It's all solid information. Seeing everyone's feedback proves that I've worked hard to learn. P.S. Brother Xian is indeed a top student. The experience from recording the show is comparable to the revision materials for the college entrance examination. Picture. Xiao Lingling took a screenshot of the experience document, but only a few titles were left. The rest were all censored. Such a good experience must have been the result of Sister Xiang and Brother Xian's painstaking analysis. It could only be shared with family members. It definitely could not be given to outsiders. A few titles were enough to let people know how serious Fang Zhenxuan was, and how accurate his analysis was. Only then did everyone know that Fang Zhenxuan had done his homework before his debut. He even treated recording a variety show as a topic to study and wrote so much about his experience. His serious attitude made people admire him to the point of prostrating themselves before him. The show was very popular, Xiao Lingling was very likable, and Fang Zhenxuan's popularity was also very high. Xiao Lingling rushed to the top of the search list in one fell swoop. Fang Zhenxuan was also on the hot search list because he was in seclusion to film. Hashtag Xiao Lingling's basic acting skills hashtag and hashtag Fang Zhenxuan's variety show experience hashtag were at the top of the hot search list. Chu Xiang called Musun, so Musun also posted on Weibo. Thank you for your experience, senior. I also benefited a lot. Picture. The attached picture was also a censored screenshot of the document, but on another page, people could see more of Fang Zhenxuan's summary. However, as soon as he posted it, the fans laughed. There was no other reason. Other than acting on variety shows, he was like an old cadre at other times. He was completely different from Fang Zhenxuan. How did he benefit a lot? He was afraid that there was some misunderstanding about him. Fang Zhenxuan took a screenshot of their Weibo and at them on Weibo. It's your own strength that is strong. Brother Sun Lingling, continue to work hard. I look forward to the opportunity for us to work together in the future. Hashtag choose family interaction hashtag quickly became a hot search, bringing different degrees of popularity to the members of the Choose family. The fans crazily recommended their idols with these topics. Just like before, under the leadership of the law students, they were all committed to turning the popularity into substantial support. Fang Zhenxuan's action of sharing his experience with his fellow students showed the harmony and friendship of the Choose family, and also made people further understand the strengths of Mu Sun and Xia Lingling. Mu Sun specialized in acting and his acting skills were superb. Xia Lingling had unlimited potential, solid basic skills, and learned things quickly. None of the students that Chu Xiang liked were bad students. They were just around the corner. Since then, the members of the Choose family often interacted with each other. Sometimes, one could see the other members in the fan welfare video. Occasionally, one could see photos of this and that in the airport. It could be said that they were really loving and harmonious. Therefore, their fans gradually became like a family and became Choose fans, as if they were going to debut as a team. Of course, in every photoshopped group photo, Chu Xiang firmly occupied the center position, and her image as the boss in the hearts of the fans was unshakable. Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang's high popularity successfully brought Mu Sun and Xia Lingling into the eyes of the public, and the variety shows that Mu Sun and Xia Lingling participated in also made them circle a large number of fans. Fang Zhenxuan and Xinxin's variety shows also made the uncle and niece's popularity even more explosive. Soon it was the October holiday. Fang Zhenxuan's movie Ask Immortal, in which he played the role of the Immortal, was officially released. The Immortal had an immortal aura, both noble and ascetic. In his heart, he was both affectionate and ruthless. In the movie, he gave up everything for the female lead, but in the face of danger, he gave up the female lead and sacrificed himself to save her. When the audience saw his sacrifice, they all cried. They were moved by his affectionate feelings, but also felt heartache for his sacrifice. This movie told the story of the female lead from a cultivator, who overcame difficulties and obstacles step by step to become an immortal. The immortal was the person who made her first awakening of love, and also the person who taught her cultivation and gave her a heart. Although she later met the male lead and experienced a lot together, the immortal still had a pivotal position in this story, and his sense of existence was not inferior to the male lead at all. This was also because after Fang Zhenxuan finished filming Ask Immortal, his popularity soared, and the director of Ask Immortal edited more scenes of him into the movie. If he had been in the same state as when he first debuted, his sense of existence would not be so strong. The box office of Ask Immortal rose steadily, and the popularity of the female lead, male lead, and supporting roles also rose with the movie. Fang Zhenxuan once again attracted a wave of new fans, and the new and old fans cried and begged Fang Zhenxuan not to film such an affectionate movie. One Zhou Yanjun, one immortal, enough, don't die anymore, they were going to cry until they went blind. Some fans remembered that when everyone cried for Zhou Yanjun, Chu Xiang had edited a video for them. It was edited as if Zhou Yanjun had transmigrated to the extreme mode and had a new life. This time, they also Chu Xiang, begging Chu Xiang to release another video to give the immortal a happy ending. Chu Xiang had not thought about it yet. When the couple fans of the immortal and the female lead of Ask Immortal came out, they quickly edited a version of the happy ending of the immortal and the female lead, and posted it on Bilibili and Weibo. The Xinxiang couple fans immediately found out and swarmed over, immediately strangling this new couple in its budding state. The Xinxiang couple could not be separated, and no other man or woman was allowed to be a couple with them. The Xinxiang couple fans also widely shared the video of the Xinxiang couple, telling everyone that the Xinxiang couple was real. Fang Zhenxuan's live broadcast, Chu Xiang's live broadcast, Chu Xiang's live broadcast at Fang Zhenxuan's house, Fang Zhenxuan's fancy praises for Chu Xiang in variety shows, Fang Zhenxuan's cooking of Chu Xiang's favorite sweet and sour pork ribs, Fang Zhenxuan picking her up at the airport. There were also people who edited the video of Chu Xiang playing the guitar and Fang Zhenxuan playing the guitar and singing the same song. In the video, Fang Zhenxuan was on the left and Chu Xiang was on the right. The background was the same study, and the audio was split into two parts. The most amazing thing was that some parts of Fang Zhenxuan's singing were different from the original song, but when Chu Xiang sang, it was not the same as the original song. Instead, every tone was the same as Fang Zhenxuan's version. When they sang together, it was the most beautiful harmony. How many times did they have to listen to it before they could sing the same tone? If this was not true love, then what was it? The new Xinxiang couple fans were not convinced at first, but later on, all of them dispersed. They could not compare. After watching the Xinxiang couple's material, they could die from the sweetness. Their own fake candy was not sweet at all. A portion of the new Xinxiang couple fans actually turned to the Xinxiang couple. The name Xinxiang was indeed worthy of its reputation. Even their opponents could exclaim Xinxiang. The legal army was a little late, and they found that the new couple had been strangled to death in the cradle by the Xinxiang couple fans. Just like the previous incident with Xia Lingling, no new couple was allowed to appear. Very good. They did not even have to work to separate the couple. Their own Xinxiang couple fans were too awesome, and they did not have to worry about any partner being tied to Fang Zhenxuan. Then let it continue like this. No other couple can appear. Chapter 228. Asking Immortals invested 200 million yuan, and the box office exceeded 900 million in the first week, getting a good result. This was because the popularity of Xianxia movies in recent years was relatively low, and not many people were interested. A week later, good reviews came in from all sides, and a large number of people who did not pay attention to the movie walked into the cinema. Not only did the box office of Asking Immortals not weaken, but it showed a steady trend of rising. This was partly due to the efforts of the Chu family fans. When Fang Zhenxuan acted in his first movie, the law students had organized the legal corps to draw up a publicity plan. They were good at analyzing and formulating solutions. For several months, they had been carefully analyzing the successful publicity cases of various movies, analyzing film reviews, audience psychology, publicity documents, and so on. As soon as Asking Immortals was released, they took out a publicity plan that had been refined countless times. They immediately gave out countless high-quality film reviews, sent a large number of tickets, and invited well-known viewers and film and television enthusiasts to watch the movie and write pertinent reviews. At the same time, they had hundreds of high-quality review documents to recommend all the topics about Asking Immortals. They did not recommend Fang Zhenxuan, but recommended Asking Immortals. Every document pointed out the advantages of Asking Immortals in concise and comprehensive terms. They also made a lot of motion pictures, all of which were eye-catching scenes in the movie, as well as close-up shots of beautiful smiles or sad tears. They not only aroused people's curiosity about the plot, but also showed the actors' superb acting skills. This made many people who did not want to watch it have the urge to go into the cinema to watch it. The fans also did a lot. The Chu family fans were like a family. They were organized and disciplined, which made the entire entertainment industry gasp in amazement. Such a strong, rational, and harmonious fan group was really unprecedented. It was rare and admirable. If all the fans in the entertainment industry could be like the Chu family, then there would not be so many foul things on the internet. The driving effect of the fans doing these things was huge. In the later stage, Asking Immortals had a good reputation, and the audience had automatically recommended it to the people around them. Many of the materials used were also organized by the legal corps. The final box office of Asking Immortals was 3.6 billion yuan, and it became the all-time box office legend of Xianxia movies. It was very popular. While people praised that a cold theme could also make a good movie, they discussed the role of traffic again. The large-scale promotion of Fang Zhenxuan's fans was the effect of traffic. If Fang Zhenxuan's traffic was not so high, it would be impossible for the box office of Asking Immortals to exceed 900 million yuan in the first week before word of mouth came out. If the results in the first week weren't so eye-catching, They might not be able to have such a good reputation and high box office sales in the later stages. Even the director himself did not expect the box office to be as high as 3.6 billion. However, if traffic was useful, then one of the top representatives, Xiaoze, only had a box office of 200 million last year. It could be said that the box office failure made people think that the era of popularity was a thing of the past. It was also because of that movie that did not recoup its costs that the resources Xiaoze received this year were not very good. He was even willing to act as the second male lead in a good drama to produce a representative work. When discussing traffic, people couldn't help but compare Xiaoze and Fang Zhenxuan. The comparison video of the audition between the two of them that had been posted by Turning was once again widely shared. The netizens came to a new conclusion. Traffic was good, but there was a prerequisite: effective traffic. In other words, the artiste had to be capable enough to make the fans willing to take practical actions to support the artiste. The artiste had to be able to attract audiences to acknowledge the artiste and turn it into actual box office sales. To put it simply, the artiste had to be capable. His traffic would only be good if he had a high traffic level. Otherwise, it would be like Xiaoze. Even if his fans were crazy about him, the passers-by who saw him would not be interested in supporting him. His popularity was mostly reflected in scolding and quarreling. Just look at how bad everyone's impression of his fans was. If the artiste did not give the fans confidence, the fans would not be able to come up with anything substantial when they went out to argue. Because Xiaoze was compared to Fang Zhenxuan, Xiaoze's fans were furious. They thought that their idol had been trampled on for no reason, and that it must be Fang Zhenxuan's scheme. They focused on Fang Zhenxuan and started to argue. Chu Xiang had previously sued hundreds of their fans. This kind of lawsuit usually dragged on for a few months before ending. She had only just received the results. Seeing that Xiaoze's fans were scolding each other, she was not willing to let her fans be entangled with them. Hence, she chose to announce the results of the lawsuit at this time. The court ruled that the fans had to publicly apologize on Weibo. They had to be sincere about the cause and effect. As a result, hundreds of Xiaoze's fans posted on Weibo within 3 days, explaining how they had spread rumors and insulted Fang Zhenxuan back then. They also clearly expressed that they had done something wrong and solemnly apologized to Fang Zhenxuan. Many marketing accounts immediately forwarded the 18-grid screenshots of the apology. Each picture was spliced together with many apology Weibo posts, including almost all of the fans who had apologized. The Chu family's fans also tried their best to explain the situation and magnanimously expressed their forgiveness. They hoped that they would be careful with their words and actions in the future and abide by the law. What a good abide by the law sentence. It was completely in line with the characteristics of the legal army and successfully sent this matter to the trending searches. #Xiaoze's fans apologized to Fang Zhenxuan. #Fang Zhenxuan's fans advised Xiaoze's fans to abide by the law. #Xiaoze's fans were tearing Fang Zhenxuan apart. These two trending searches were not just a slap in the face, but a public execution. Even new passers-by were there. No wonder Chu Xiang had sued them back then. Look at their current state. They did not repent and were still tearing into each other. Even their idol, Xiaoze, was belittled once. He had no works and no acting skills. Wasn't this the truth? Where did he get the confidence to trample on the tyrannical Fang Zhenxuan? Did he bully others just because he was a top celebrity and a senior? Xiaoze's side had lost completely. Xiaoze's fans also spontaneously shut up under the influence of so many apology Weibo posts. No one wanted to really be sued. No matter how fierce their words were, they were still a little afraid in their hearts. Not only would it be embarrassing on the internet, but it would also become a stain in reality. Who would be willing to have a label of being sued on their resume? Even the big fans calling on other fans to protect Xiaoze was useless. A small number of fans' comments had no effect. Xiaoze and Fang Zhenxuan had several disputes, and this was the worst loss. Xiaoze's fans hated Fang Zhenxuan to the core and regarded Fang Zhenxuan as their #1 opponent, but they still did not dare to act rashly. This time, Xiaoze was really sitting at home, but the pot came out of nowhere. Just like that, he once again lost a lot of popularity. However, this was also his own fault. After being popular for so many years, he did not improve his skills. He only cared about gaining fans and earning money. Now that his fan club was out of control, it would not be good to tear others apart. Even if he did not want to, he would still lose face. This time, Fang Zhenxuan's incident gave everyone a new perspective on traffic. They no longer rejected traffic like in the past 2 years, thinking that traffic was a bubble. They also no longer chased traffic like a few years ago, thinking that traffic was equivalent to money. He allowed people to find the final answer to traffic. They became more and more serious about traffic and learned to distinguish which traffic was beneficial and which traffic was useless. Fang Zhenxuan's influence in the entertainment industry had already surpassed Xia Zhe's. Even though he had yet to win an award, he had already become a well-deserved A-list superstar. In just half a year after his debut, he had already become a household name. Fang Zhenxuan was still in seclusion filming. More than half of Journey Detective was already shot. Chu Xiang asked the director to finish her part first, and then she would leave the crew from time to time to do investments. 4 of her E-Rouse jobs were already scheduled, so she was a little unfocused. She was thinking of ways to convert the huge amount of money in her space into cash. The best way was to invest in a large number of companies. She was familiar with this and had done it countless times. Very quickly, she found a group of companies with the potential to develop quickly and invested in them. Then she found a few large companies with slow growth and proposed solutions to invest in them. She also invested in some well-known brands to expand her network. After all, the entertainment industry was a profit-oriented industry. No matter how capable an agent was, they still had to bow down to the investors. There would always be a time when the artists would have to suffer. If they did not want to bow down, then they would become the investors themselves. They would be able to make money while being happy. In such a colorful industry, how could one survive without money? Fortunately, money was the easiest thing for Chu Xianglai to obtain. Other than these investments that would earn her money in a short period of time, Chu Xiang also invested in a law firm and became the partner of 4 elite lawyers. Then, she asked Fang Zhenxuan to help her choose 6 capable law students from her fans to be interns in the law firm. These 6 law students were either masters or doctoral students. Following the elite lawyers would allow them to climb up the ranks at the fastest speed and become lawyers who could really take on cases. The reason why Chu Xiang invested in them was, of course, to have her own elite legal team. In the future, if anyone wanted to go head-to-head with them, they could forget about running away if it involved the law. The lawyer's letter and elite legal team were waiting for them. There was also a management company. She felt that opening an independent studio was a little too much. If she wanted to open one, she would open a management company, which was the epitome of a large entertainment company. Then she would have to start looking for talents in each department in advance and find the right time to poach them. The entertainment industry did not know much about Chu Xiang's investment, but they had heard that she wanted to open her own management company. Some people felt that she was too arrogant. She had not made any moves in the past 8 years, but this year, she made Fang Zhenxuan famous, and even made herself famous. Now, she wanted to leave the company and open her own company. At that time, without the company as her backing, it would be difficult for her to make any progress. There were also people who felt that she was bold and far-sighted. They also found out that she had a very good relationship with Xingchen Entertainment, and were very optimistic about her future. They recommended themselves to her company, and there were many artists who wanted to be signed by her. However, Chu Xiang had a lot of things on hand now and was not interested in signing new artists, so she rejected all of them. However, the staff who recommended themselves would be carefully reviewed. If they were suitable, she would directly poach them. Although the company had not been opened yet, it was not like she could not afford to pay them privately. She already had 4 artists under her, and there would be a lot of time to use them. With a team, it would be much more convenient. While Chu Xiang, the family head, was doing big things, the members of the Chu family were working hard in the production team. Fang Zhenxuan and Xian's movie had finished filming, but Fang Zhenxuan immediately entered the production team of the legal drama to start filming. Xian went to kindergarten to learn her homework, and Mu Sun and Xia Lingling had finished filming their variety shows and entered the production team to film. However, everyone did not forget about them at all, because their variety shows were broadcast once a week, perfectly maintaining their popularity. When Fang Zhenxuan's variety show ended, winter vacation arrived and Fang Zhenxuan's Turning officially aired. Back then, Xia Zhe wanted to act in Turning but failed to compete with Fang Zhenxuan, so he went to act in Reunion. They were both second male leads, and coincidentally, they were broadcast during the winter vacation. Xia Zhe and Fang Zhenxuan met again. Turning played the story of a carefree housewife who was heartbroken when she found out that her husband had cheated on her. She resolutely divorced, found herself, and became an elite in the workplace. The younger brother played by Fang Zhenxuan was handsome and rebellious at the beginning, but he grew up overnight when his sister was heartbroken. He worked everywhere, calmly helped his sister get a divorce, and supported her. Then he accidentally entered the entertainment industry and quickly became a big star, becoming his sister's most reliable backer and an eternal supporter. Of course, this drama was not heavy. It also mixed many funny and happy plots, such as the younger brother impulsively beating up his ex-brother-in-law, teasing his ex-brother-in-law with his friends, deliberately pretending to be his sister's boyfriend to make his future brother-in-law jealous, being misunderstood by his new brother-in-law when he was acting with his sister, going to the hotel where his new brother-in-law was staying to catch them in the act, and his personality in the entertainment industry and so on. In this drama, the female lead was responsible for the transformation of inner conflicts, calmly improving her strength, and bravely pursuing her dreams and happiness, including all the controversial points of female topics. The male lead was similar to the female lead's guide, appreciation and good home, satisfying all the audience's fantasies of a partner. On the other hand, Fang Zhenxuan carried the line of relaxation and joy, adding a lot of laughter to the drama, and also showing the charm of a big star, playing the role of attracting attention. It had to be that the director and scriptwriter had distributed the few people perfectly, unknowingly covering the largest scale of audience. Once it was broadcast, the ratings were far ahead, leaving the second place by a street. The fans all wanted Fang Zhenxuan to act as the male lead, but they also knew that Fang Zhenxuan was already an excellent resource for being the second male lead of Turning when he was a newcomer. He could not expect to be the main lead of a big production as soon as he debuted. After watching the drama with a supportive mood, they unexpectedly found that this drama was much better than many dramas with fresh meat as the male lead. At the beginning, they could not stop watching it. Every time they wanted to steal the broadcast source of the drama to watch it, scratching their hearts and lungs to know what the next episode was. Moreover, Fang Zhenxuan's character in this drama was very good. When he was rebellious in the early stages, he was so arrogant that it made the girls like and excited. When they saw him taking revenge on his ex-brother-in-law, they felt so happy and satisfied. When he took up the responsibility of his family and worked everywhere, they felt so touched and manly. Finally, when he entered the entertainment industry and radiated charm, the audience really felt that he was a popular fried chicken, born to eat this bowl of rice. Fang Zhenxuan's 3 changes in the drama not only showed his natural acting skills, but also let the audience see his different charms. This drama exploded, and once again became a large number of Fang Zhenxuan's fans. No matter where they went on the trending searches, they would feel that something was missing. On the other hand, Reunion was about family disputes. It was the story of a family of 4's conflicts that had erupted bit by bit over the years. All kinds of arguments were heart-wrenching, and in the end, they forgave each other and reunited. The family had a stubborn old father, a selfish older brother, a stubborn second sister, and a younger brother who was spoiled by his father. Xia Zhe acted as the younger brother. Reunion had very good ratings. This kind of family ethics drama had always had good ratings, especially when there were a few veteran actors in it. They played the shortcomings of various characters very well, making people feel as if it was something that happened to them. Rao was a gossipy person by nature. Naturally, she wanted to know what had happened to their family, and how it would develop. The ratings of Reunion were not as good as Turning, but it still rushed to the second place. It was not bad. The 3 actors who acted as the old father, the older brother, and the second sister would appear on the trending searches from time to time. However, the key problem was that Xiaoze's acting skills were not good enough. He worked very hard, and even hired a private teacher to guide him in private. Compared to the 3 veteran actors, the gap was still too big. However, they had a lot of scenes together, so the comparison was too obvious. Xiaoze's acting skills are bad, was once again widely spread. This time, he was really labeled. He was regarded as the biggest failure of Reunion. The audience who liked Reunion even thought that if a good actor played the role of the younger brother, Reunion might be able to compete with Turning. There were also people who wished that Reunion had chosen Fang Zhenxuan as the younger brother. This drama would definitely be twice as good. Fang Zhenxuan and Xiaoze were fighting again, but the difference in strength was simply a one-sided beating. The image that the fans of both sides gave Rao was the same as before. The legal army was magnanimous and did not care about it. They focused on promoting the other party and did not mention it. However, if the other party went overboard, they would spread the law and report it to scare the other party away. On the other hand, Xiaoze's fans had nothing to do. What else could they do other than forcefully defend their dignity? When passers-by said that Xiaoze's acting skills were bad, they immediately retorted. The passers-by who were retorted had an even worse impression of Xiaoze. It was a vicious cycle with no hope of turning things around. In the eyes of the insiders, Xiaoze was indeed the overall failure of Reunion. Back then, Hong Yao had invested, and the production team had also taken a fancy to Xiaoze's popularity. Who knew that this popularity was useless and was even suppressed by Fang Zhenxuan, who was in the same batch as him. It was too late for regrets, but it was useless to mention it now. Reunion was still not as good as Turning. In this winter, everyone, regardless of whether they watched the drama or not, had heard of the name Turning. Its popularity was already foreseeable. In the next few years, Turning would be a classic drama. Reunion was unlucky. Most of the popularity was stolen by Turning. It did not seem as outstanding and did not meet the expectations of the investors. Hong Yao was also a little unhappy with Xiaoze. Hong Yao had always put benefits above all. If he could not get a good return from investing in Xiaoze, why would he invest in him? The first-rate resources in the company were no longer tilted to Xiaoze. The era where popularity was king was over. Xiaoze was no longer special in the company. Instead, he was warned by the company to improve his skills. Xiaoze's long-awaited transformation failed. His judgment was very accurate. The drama did explode, but he became the only person who was belittled. This time, the title of Flower Vase was pinned on him. Unfortunately, he did not have any ability to make people treat him as the most precious flower vase. For the first time, Xiaoze was so angry that he smashed a cup at home. If not for Fang Zhenxuan, he would not have been able to endure all this. His acting skills were not good. Everyone knew from the beginning that there were always people mocking him. It was normal. There were many fans of the top celebrities, and there were also many haters. He was good-looking. He could sing, dance, and do anything to attract fans. As long as he acted in a good drama and his acting skills improved, no one would be able to mock him. He could release a statement to promote his hard work and create a rookie image. He would slowly improve his skills and transform into a powerhouse. If not for this confidence, why would he have targeted Turning and Reunion? There was no problem with his plan. It was a normal operation for fresh meat. However, he met his nemesis, Fang Zhenxuan, this year. Not only did Fang Zhenxuan come aggressively, but he also directly confronted him. If there was any movement, people would compare them. He was overshadowed by Fang Zhenxuan's light. The comparison also highlighted his shortcomings, especially when Fang Zhenxuan's acting skills in Turning had obviously improved compared to the first time he acted in The Legend of Jing Fei. It seemed that his improvement was not worth mentioning. He could not even release a statement. It was Fang Zhenxuan's existence that completely stuck the two labels of bad acting skills and outdated popularity on him. He could not tear them off. After a few failures, his fans were hit hard, his manager was at odds with him, and the company did not think highly of him. His development next year would be more difficult than this year. Fang Zhenxuan made him start to go downhill quickly. Xiaoze asked someone to contact Chu Xiang. This time he was afraid that something would be photographed, so he directly spoke to Chu Xiang. Sister Chu, I heard that you are preparing for a management company. You have Rao Company. The artists you have now are definitely not enough. Is it possible for us to work together? I really have always admired Sister Chu. Chu Xiang coldly said. Thank you for your appreciation, but I'm sorry. You are not the type I admire. I'm afraid we won't have a chance to work together. Xiaoze was embarrassed by her direct rejection. He had been a top celebrity for a few years. When had anyone ever treated him like this? Moreover, it was rumored in the industry that Chu Xiang had discerning eyes. The people she liked all had the potential and ability to become popular. Chu Xiang did not admire him. Didn't that mean she did not like him? Xiaoze did not have the habit of sticking to others. Since then he no longer looked for Chu Xiang. He began to use all kinds of connections, hoping to have a career or reputation change as soon as possible. However, in his situation, it was too difficult to find a gold manager to take over. His path became very narrow, but he still could not settle down and spend time studying acting skills. Because once you faded a little in the entertainment industry, it would be difficult to get back your popularity. He did not dare. This year, Xiaoze was not invited to the New Year's Eve party. Instead, all the TV stations invited Fang Zhenxuan. Fang Zhenxuan could be the most popular star this year. He was already the newest top celebrity. Everyone knew how strong his fans were. If he went to any TV station for the New Year's Eve, it was conceivable that his popularity alone would bring a lot of ratings to that TV station. In addition to the invitation to the New Year's Eve party, Fang Zhenxuan was also invited to the Spring Festival Gala. The Spring Festival Gala was a must. The program of the Spring Festival Gala was a product, and it was performed with 2 comedians. Chu Xiang had read the script before. It could make people convulse with laughter, and the aftertaste could even trigger some thoughts. It was a very good product. Fang Zhenxuan was invited to participate because he received a lot of attention, and because his acting skills were enough to take on the role. After that, Fang Zhenxuan had to rehearse with the 2 comedians every few days. While rehearsing, he continued to sculpt the script. He sculpted every word, every expression, and every action. It was much more detailed than acting. Fang Zhenxuan came into contact with another way of acting, and became more and more interested in acting. At the same time, Chu Xiang also accepted 2 invitations to the New Year's Eve party for him. One was from the TV station that produced Extreme Mode, and the other was from a TV station that had produced many variety shows and dramas in the past 2 years. One was recorded, and the other was live. It was just nice that he could attend at different times and build a good relationship with the 2 TV stations. Fang Zhenxuan performed singing at the New Year's Eve party. One sang the theme song of Asking Immortals, and the other sang the theme song of Turning. Different styles, and different choreography gave the audience 2 completely different Fang Zhenxuan. It made the audience who liked Fang Zhenxuan very satisfied. The fans suddenly remembered that they had begged Chu Xiang to edit the video, but they had not been able to get it. The immortal in Asking Immortals was so pitiful. Did she not care about him? Compared to Zhou Yanjun, the immortal was too pitiful in Chu Xiang's eyes. After the New Year's Eve party, Chu Xiang found it funny that the fans still hadn't forgotten about it. This was the first time she had seen people comparing 2 characters. If either character was missing, they would feel indignant. Just as the New Year's Eve party ended, there were 2 days off. She looked for material to edit a video. Of course, the video started with the immortal. Then, when the immortal sacrificed himself, it was connected to the scene of Fang Zhenxuan waking up in a daze and turning. After that, it was the rebellious Fang Zhenxuan who became sensible, and then entered the entertainment industry. The final clip was actually the scene of Fang Zhenxuan acting in real life and on the New Year's Eve stage. The fans were shocked when they saw this video. This was transmigration. Fang Zhenxuan in turning was originally rebellious, but because of his sister's incident, he became sensible. However, from Chu Xiang's editing, it could be understood that the immortal had transmigrated into Fang Zhenxuan's body. What was even more amazing was that Fang Zhenxuan had entered the entertainment industry in turning, and Chu Xiang had actually used a real-life scene as the ending. It was as if a deity had transmigrated to become Fang Zhenxuan in real life. This video was simply poisonous. Many of the Immortals fans had a faint illusion when they saw Fang Zhenxuan. It was as if Fang Zhenxuan's soul was the immortal that they loved and couldn't bear to part with. Even though everyone knew that the video was fake, this feeling lingered like poison. A short video could be treated as a transmigration drama. Chu Xiang's New Year's gift to everyone made the legal army overjoyed. They flattered Chu Xiang's sister, and Chu Xiang's position in the hearts of the fans became more and more stable. Her position as the head of the Chu family was unshakable. Following that was the red carpet walk to attend the awards ceremony. This ceremony was like an annual summary of the entertainment industry's works for the year. Every year, after the New Year's Eve, there would be a cherry blossom ceremony. Chu Xiang didn't bring anyone to attend the other galas. Only this time, she accompanied Fang Zhenxuan. This was because Fang Zhenxuan had received many nominations. During the award ceremony, Fang Zhenxuan first won the Best Newcomer award. No one else needed to consider this award except for him. After that, he won the Most Popular Award of the Year. This was voted by the netizens. Fang Zhenxuan's fans were there, and his votes were at the top. It was 3 times the votes of the second place, so he naturally won the award. And because this award was voted by the fans felt honored. When Fang Zhenxuan went on stage to receive the award, the cheers of the fans resounded throughout the venue. It let the big celebrities in the industry personally experience Fang Zhenxuan's super popularity. He didn't have many scenes in The Legend of Jing Fei, so there was no award for him. However, Turning let him win the Best Supporting Actor award. Not only did he act well in Turning, but his acting skills also improved a lot compared to The Legend of Jing Fei. This award was not only well-deserved, but also a kind of encouragement. It encouraged him to continue working hard and moving forward. Next was Extreme Mode. This was the first variety show that Fang Zhenxuan had participated in since his debut. He also had a positive impact on the ratings of this variety show. There was also Dad's Journey to the Crab, that he and Xian had participated in. He had participated in 2 episodes of Love's Wish. Although he didn't win, he was nominated for these 2 variety shows. The nominations were confirmed. Fang Zhenxuan had only participated in 3 variety shows to win such an honor. This was equivalent to his personal honor. After that, it was time to evaluate the movie category. Asking Immortals won several awards. Because Fang Zhenxuan was so affected by the director's addition of scenes, he was directly defined as a supporting actor when it was released. Therefore, Fang Zhenxuan won another Best Supporting Actor award in the movie category. No one had ever won so many awards at an award ceremony. Because of the limited number of awards, the balance between so many celebrities had to be considered. However, Fang Zhenxuan was too outstanding this year. His acting skills were impeccable, his popularity was unparalleled, and his variety sense was far beyond his seniors. It would be unfair if these awards weren't given to him. Therefore, Fang Zhenxuan had a great harvest at this year's award ceremony. In the first year of his debut, he rushed to the top of the pyramid of the entertainment industry with an unstoppable momentum. Fang Zhenxuan was different from Xiaozhe. He had a positive impact on the viewership ratings of every work. The popularity of his work was his popularity. He had won honors in TV dramas, movies, and variety shows, allowing him to successfully become a heavyweight celebrity in the entertainment industry. After winning the awards, his value rose again. After that, there were other awards. Chu Xiang asked Fang Zhenxuan to focus on filming legal dramas and didn't go. However, the awards that should be given to him were still given to him. It was still these awards. These awards proved that his performance in movies and TV dramas was really outstanding. It also proved that although he was a top student in law school, his acting skills didn't lose to actors trained by film and television schools. Fang Zhenxuan's house had an additional glass display cabinet, and it was almost filled with trophies. Xian had asked Sister Wen to buy a display cabinet, and put them in one by one. Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan saw it when they returned home. Chu Xiang picked up Xian and asked with a smile, "Why are you putting them out? In the future, Your uncle will win more and more trophies. Are you going to put them all out? Xian's eyes widened in surprise. More and more? Then isn't this display cabinet not big enough? Then she smiled again. Then changed to a bigger display cabinet. It's as big as a wall. I want to see it and learn from uncle. When I grow up, I want to get as many trophies as him. No, I want to get more trophies than uncle. Feng Zhenxuan walked over and pinched her nose. You only know how to look at these trophies. Why don't you look at the trophies in my study? Students should get trophies for mathematical Olympiad competitions, international debate competitions, English speeches, and so on. Do you know that? Xian blinked her cute eyes in confusion. What are those? Chu Xiang smiled and said, Xian, study hard and you'll know slowly. Don't worry. Sister and uncle will teach you whatever you like. In the future, we'll let you get a house full of trophies, okay? Okay. Sister Xiang is the best. Xian hugged Chu Xiang and kissed her. She happily ran to find Sister Wen to learn English. Feng Zhenxuan smiled as he watched her run away. He said with relief, Xian is very smart. Fortunately, you found Sister Wen to take care of her. She didn't fall behind in her studies at all. She didn't need to sign up for classes, but she learned a lot more than the other children. Chu Xiang sat on the sofa and rubbed her neck. She asked casually, How do you want to train her? Do you have a direction? Feng Zhenxuan naturally walked behind Chu Xiang and gently massaged her neck. He smiled. The direction is to make her happy. She's been with me since she was young, and it wasn't easy for her to recover. I only hope that she'll be safe and happy in this life. Of course, she can't go nowhere. However, I don't have any requirements for her. I just hope that she can find something she really likes to do. Chu Xiang looked up at him and smiled. You're really a good uncle. Then let her try more. She'll naturally find what she likes. We'll escort her. Feng Zhenxuan lowered his head to look at her. From this angle, he felt that if he kissed her, he would be worse than a beast. Just as he was about to do something, Chu Xiang had already lowered her head to look for the remote control and started to watch TV. Feng Zhenxuan slowly massaged her shoulders. He looked at the top of her head and smiled. He put his hands on the sofa on both sides of her and leaned down to ask her, It's almost the Spring Festival. Is there anything you want to do in particular? Spring Festival? You're performing on the Spring Festival Gala. We'll definitely be very busy and tired. We'll rest after work. After being busy for half a year, I just want to stay at home and do nothing during the holidays. Chu Xiang thought for a while and turned to look at him. What do you want to do? Feng Zhenxuan shook his head. Nothing. Since you want to rest at home, we'll buy more New Year goods. We'll eat good food and watch TV at home. Oh, okay. It was almost the Spring Festival Gala. Feng Zhenxuan began to rehearse on the stage of the Spring Festival Gala. He went every 2 days. The crew reduced his filming time so that he could perform well. At the Spring Festival Gala, the fans in front of the TV were excited as soon as Feng Zhenxuan appeared. However, before they could cheer, they were brought into the show by Feng Zhenxuan. They watched him and the 2 seniors carefully. They laughed with them and were moved by them. It was not until they left the stage that they realized that time had passed so quickly. Their idol's first Spring Festival Gala performance had ended just like that. Chu Xiang was waiting for Feng Zhenxuan backstage. After browsing Weibo, she saw that Feng Zhenxuan was on the hot search list. She gave Feng Zhenxuan a thumbs up as he walked over. You acted very well. You cooperated perfectly with the seniors. The audience liked it very much. If you can maintain your popularity next year, I think you can still be on next year. Feng Zhenxuan nodded. It was already 23 o'clock. He pulled Chu Xiang out. Let's go home. We can make it in time for midnight. Chu Xiang followed him. She was a little puzzled. Why are you in such a hurry? Feng Zhenxuan turned around and smiled at her. This is the first New Year after we met. Of course, it has to be a little special. I've prepared a surprise for you at home. A surprise? Chu Xiang saw that his eyes were smiling, and even a little excited. She couldn't help but look forward to his surprise. What would be special about their first New Year? Chapter 229. Chu Xiang didn't ask what surprise Fang Zhenxuan had prepared for her. She followed Fang Zhenxuan into her house. As soon as Fang Zhenxuan stepped aside, she saw a romantic and gentle scene. On the TV, there was a video of her and Fang Zhenxuan laughing and playing, accompanied by the music they had both played and sung. There were many heart-shaped balloons tied to the TV wall with ribbons. They were red, silver, and golden. It was very beautiful. There was a large bouquet of roses on the ground to the left of the TV. Next to it was an LED light in the shape of I love you. There was a large bunch of pink and white balloons tied to the light. There were also many balloons floating on the roof. The curtains of the floor-to-ceiling windows were all drawn. There were beautiful starlights hanging on the upper half, and there were many photos of her and Fang Zhenxuan in the lower half. From the time they met until now, some of the photos were real, and some were photoshopped by the couple fans. They all belonged to their memories, reminding people of all the times they held hands. There were candles, red wine, and delicious Western food on the dining table to the right of the TV. There were many fruits, snacks, and candies on the kitchen table. Chu Xiang didn't feel like she had returned to her home. Instead, she felt like she had walked into a sweet secret realm. She took 2 steps forward. There were some balloons scattered on the ground, and on the ground in front of her was a huge heart made of yellow and pink light balls. The heart was covered with pink petals, and in the middle of the petals was a large sea of jewelry. Fang Zhenxuan took a deep breath nervously. He took her hand and walked to the window, pointing to the photo wall. This is when we first met in the hospital. Your face was very pale, but your smile was prettier than anyone else's. This is when we went to the company, and my colleagues took it. It wasn't easy for me to get it. I thought a lot. But then I realized that as long as I was by your side, I would feel more at ease than anywhere else. This is when we were recording the show. The audience thought that I was looking at the camera, but in fact, I was looking at you. This is the behind-the-scenes footage of the filming. This is the airport photo. This is the passerby who took it overseas. This is the photo of us at a private dinner. Have you noticed that there are so many photos that all have one thing in common? Fang Zhenxuan turned around and held Chu Xiang's hands so that they were face to face. That is, my eyes will always follow you. Wherever you are, I will be there. If I don't see you for a minute, I will feel empty in my heart. Chu Xiang's eyes were full of smiles. Why didn't I realize that you were so clingy before? Fang Zhenxuan looked at her and tightened his grip. He said softly, in the 22 years before I met you, I didn't know that I was so clingy. I only stick to you. Chu Xiang looked up at him with a smile. Then what do you want to do now? Fang Zhenxuan didn't finish. He pulled Chu Xiang into his arms and lowered his head to kiss the red lips that he had been thinking about day and night. Rao Xian's lips were softer than he had imagined, causing him to lose his breath instantly. He hugged her tightly in his arms, unwilling to let go. However, he wasn't done yet. He could only kiss her lips twice more, and restrain himself. Seeing that Chu Xiang had opened her eyes, he caressed Chu Xiang's cheek and asked softly, "Will you be my girlfriend?" "If I'm not good." "No. You're my girlfriend now." Fang Zhenxuan could tell that Chu Xiang was teasing him, so he declared his sovereignty and kissed her soft lips again. The sound of the countdown came from the video. Fang Zhenxuan put on the couple's necklace for Chu Xiang at the last second, hugged her and said happily in her ear, "Happy New Year. I hope that we can celebrate every year like this. It's such a special anniversary, and we won't be separated no matter how busy we are. We can spend every anniversary together." Chu Xiang pinched his waist. "So that's what you're up to." She wrapped her arms around Fang Zhenxuan's strong waist and kissed his Adam's apple. "Year after year, day after day, I'll always be by your side." Fang Zhenxuan's Adam's apple bobbed. He tightened his arms and his ears turned red. However, he didn't run away this time. Instead, he carried Chu Xiang and whispered in her ear, "There's a surprise in the bedroom too. I'll take you to see it." Chu Xiang hugged his neck and laughed. "Aren't you going to eat? The food is getting cold. These dishes aren't good. I'll cook for you later." Before he finished speaking, he had already closed the bedroom door. There wasn't any surprise in the bedroom, and he was the biggest surprise. Later on, Chu Xiang ate the dishes that Fang Zhenxuan had made. However, it was already dawn, so the supper became breakfast. It was only 9 in the morning when they were woken up by WeChat notifications. Everyone in their team and their friends in the company were paying attention to Journey Detective. Chu Xiang tossed her phone aside and rolled over in her boyfriend's arms. "I'm not awake yet. I don't want to wake up." Fang Zhenxuan enjoyed her natural affection and couldn't help but smile. He hugged her and kissed the top of her head. "Then don't wake up. Sleep for a while more. When you wake up, we'll go to the cinema to watch a movie. Don't worry about anything else. Mute your phone and I'll watch. I'll call you if there's anything. Okay." Chu Xiang fell asleep just like that after he did so. It was indeed tiring for her to have sex until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and her spiritual energy hadn't recovered yet. However, it felt good to have a boyfriend. She felt like a king who didn't need to go to court early. Fang Zhenxuan was only 23 years old, and was full of energy. With his girlfriend in his arms, he didn't feel tired at all. He even had to suppress his excitement, so as not to wake her up. He looked at Chu Xiang from the side and couldn't get enough of her. His face was full of sweet smiles, and his eyes were full of love. Just looking at the two of them made him feel so happy. When Chu Xiang finally had enough sleep, she saw her boyfriend's adorable face the moment she opened her eyes. She generously invited him to take a bath together, and ate her boyfriend from the inside out. It was their first date, and they went to watch the movie they were filming together. They brought Xian along as well. The three of them concealed themselves and went in after the movie started. They sat in the last row and didn't attract any attention. At the beginning, Journey Detective was just a comedy with novelty. The director didn't have much ambition by combining mystery and light-hearted comedy. However, after the three of them started filming, the director changed his mind. Fang Zhenxuan's acting was even better than during the audition. Chu Xiang's acting was perfect. Even Xian looked like she was born to be in this industry. She cooperated well with the two adults. With such a good combination of actors, if he didn't sharpen the camera angles, he would be letting his film down. Therefore, the brain-burning parts of the movie were strengthened, and the humorous scenes were more prominent. The director told the scriptwriter to give it his all. No matter how he wrote it, the actors would be able to act it out. Therefore, he decided to bring their acting skills to the best of their ability and push the movie to the top. Chu Xiang saw the director's ambition and invested another 20 million yuan in the movie, allowing the director to shoot with more freedom. Now that she saw the final product on the big screen, the director didn't let her down. Fang Zhenxuan's shrewdness in the film was reflected in every look and decision he made. In order to solve the case smoothly, he pretended to be crazy and acted like a fool. He also imitated and pretended to be someone else. He even fought with the gangsters in a dangerous situation. His several different styles fully demonstrated his superb acting skills. Even when he acted as a fool, people couldn't help but believe that the person on the screen was a fool. The movie was full of laughs, and laughter could be heard in the theater from time to time. That was until Chu Xiang appeared. Just a close-up of her side profile made everyone quiet down and subconsciously hold their breaths. They didn't know why, but they were suddenly worried about the main character. They felt that something big was about to happen. How could there be so many different looks in someone's eyes? It was all made up by people's imaginations. But in fact, it wasn't. A good actor could bring the audience into the movie with just one look. Just like the moment Chu Xiang looked over, all the audience could instantly guess that this was the boss behind the scenes. This was definitely the most difficult person to deal with in the whole movie. She was the biggest threat to the main character. The confrontation between Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang was also particularly nerve-wracking. Everyone saw Chu Xiang raise her finger, and was afraid that she would drop her finger and give the order to attack. Everyone anxiously wanted Fang Zhenxuan to quickly take out his gun, but they were also worried that the main character would break the law. It wasn't worth it. Just as everyone was staring at the screen and feeling anxious for the people inside, Xinxin's mom instantly dissolved the tense atmosphere. Everyone watched as Chu Xiang melted like ice and snow, and turned into a mother who loved her daughter in the blink of an eye. She was full of a harmless aura, and also made people feel that she was very gentle. Feng Zhenxuan noticed that the audience in front of him rubbed their eyes, as if they couldn't believe that the previous Chu Xiang and the current Chu Xiang were the same person. He couldn't help but chuckle. He held Chu Xiang's hand and said in her ear, "My girlfriend acted so well that she charmed everyone. But such a good girlfriend belongs to me alone." Her boyfriend's coquettishness always had a sweet taste. Chu Xiang quickly pecked him on the lips and raised the couple's necklace on her neck. She said, "It's tied by you. No one can take it away." Feng Zhenxuan's custom-made couple's necklace had a cross inlaid with broken diamonds. One was big, and the other was the same style. The back of the necklace was engraved with the letters ZX. During the short period of time when he had a crush on her, he himself had become one of the fans of the couple. Feng Zhenxuan got what he wanted and couldn't wait to let the whole world know about their relationship. On the way home after watching the movie, Xinxin stared at their clasped hands for a long time and asked mischievously, "Sister, are you going to be my aunt in the future?" Feng Zhenxuan pinched her face and asked with a smile, "Do you want me to be your aunt?" "Yes, yes." Xinxin smiled happily and said, "Uncle, Aunt, we're going to be a family of 3 in the future. Teacher's family reunion after the new year is really true. I'm so happy." The 3 of them laughed for a while. Xinxin was a little sleepy and fell asleep in the safety seat. Feng Zhenxuan shook Chu Xiang's hand and said, "Xinxin's aunt, when are you going to give me a status? In fact, I didn't debut as an idol, and our couple is so popular. It's okay to publicize it, right?" As a professional manager, Chu Xiang analyzed, "No one can predict the reaction of the fans. It might not matter if there are rumors about you, but it's completely different if you announce your relationship publicly. Many people won't have the enthusiasm to help you promote and make your name. Your fans have always been a myth, but this is also because you've only debuted for more than half a year, and they're very proud of you. No one knows what will happen in the future." Seeing her boyfriend's smile collapse, she found it funny and said, "But it doesn't matter. You've been a strong performer since you debuted. The box office and ratings are all solid results. Our image is very good. Even if we publicize our relationship, it won't affect your film and TV resources. At most, there will be a difference in endorsements." Chu Xiang's mind flashed with several big brands that could be endorsed by him, all of which she had invested in. However, she didn't like to talk about things that weren't confirmed, so she didn't mention it. Feng Zhenxuan looked at her and asked, "Then should we publicize it, or not?" Without waiting for Chu Xiang to answer, he said, "I've always listened to you and cherished my fans very much, so I want to share good things with them. There may be fans who don't support us, but there will also be many fans who support us. I don't want to hide it from them." Chu Xiang looked at him for a while and said, "As your girlfriend, I have no objections. But as your agent, I have to remind you that our relationship is very special. Our CP fans are very strong. If we don't publicize it, no one will blame us whether we're together in the future or not. But if we publicize it and break up in the future, the CP fans will definitely be sad and bite back. Our fans will fall out, and our partnership will always be speculated. If there's any trouble, the marketing accounts will. You just got together and you're already thinking about breaking up?" Feng Zhenxuan tightened his grip on Chu Xiang's hand. Chu Xiang blinked and said, "I'm not thinking about it. I'm just telling you the possible consequences of publicizing it. Sometimes celebrities don't publicize it not to hide it from their fans, but because they're afraid of rumors being spread, being watched under a microscope, and the impact on both parties if they break up. You don't know much about the entertainment industry. Let me explain it to you. We won't break up. Don't even think about it." Feng Zhenxuan leaned over and faced her face, and said a little domineeringly, "Then I'll publicize it and cut off your escape route. I'll get everyone to watch you for me. You're not afraid, so why should I be? You can publicize our relationship anytime." Chu Xiang held his face and kissed him deeply, using her actions to express her attitude. Her boyfriend, who was a little uneasy just a moment ago, was overjoyed in the blink of an eye. The sweetness in his heart was overflowing. Of course, the youthful boyfriend was still very romantic. He didn't want to publicize it so casually. It was still a few days before Valentine's Day. He wanted to share his sweetness with the world on Valentine's Day. They went home and had the candlelight dinner that they missed the previous day. The internet was full of topics about Journey Detective. It had been many years since a good combination of crime-solving and comedy elements had appeared. It had also been many years since a comedy film was so addictive. Not only was the film hilarious, but it was also memorable. After watching it, people wanted to discuss the plot of the case with their friends. Especially the appearance of Chu Xiang at the end. That could be the ending or the beginning of the next film. The audience wanted more, and wanted to know what would happen next. They couldn't wait to watch the second, third, fourth, and fifth films of Journey Detective immediately. Although it was Fang Zhenxuan's first time being the lead in a film, he had been popular for the past half a year. His popularity and acting skills were good at the same time. The first batch of viewers was very large. After the first batch of viewers finished watching it, the good reviews spread unstoppably. Journey Detective grossed 150 million on the first day, and attracted a lot of attention. The audiences who were watching the New Year's films of other famous celebrities also chose to watch this comedy film. It was the New Year. If there were films that could make people laugh, many families would like to watch it together. Journey Detective had enough screenings in the theaters. The box office soared, far exceeding the expectations of the industry. It became the biggest dark horse for the New Year's film. Chen Lifeng also starred in the New Year's film. Coincidentally, it was also a comedy film. However, the plot wasn't as interesting as Journey Detective, and the laughs weren't as dense as Journey Detective either. Since it was also a comedy film, Journey Detective had stolen all the attention. The first day's box office was 30 million, which was only 1/5 of Journey Detective. Most of the audience came because of Chen Lifeng's title as the best actor. After that, the box office of Journey Detective continued to soar. However, Chen Lifeng's film's box office didn't have much momentum. The increase was very slow and far below Lian Chu's expectations. The box office of a film had a huge impact on the lead actor. The lead actor who could handle the box office would have a higher status. On the other hand, the lead actor who didn't do well would have a much harder time acting in a film in the future. Chen Lifeng had just won the title of Best Actor half a year ago. However, during the New Year's festival, he had lost the halo of this title. He couldn't take it lying down. He chose this time to let the marketing account expose Zhou Yuan's pregnancy. After all, Zhou Yuan used to be a child star that everyone knew. Everyone watched her grow up. The news of her pregnancy really caused a lot of discussion. Many people were worried about her, because she was pregnant out of wedlock. When Zhou Yuan saw the news, she was furious. She immediately called Chen Lifeng back and questioned him. "Only the two of us know about my pregnancy. How dare you not expose it? What right do you have to expose it without discussing it with me?" Chen Lifeng tried his best to appease her. "It's not convenient for you to work now. I have to focus on earning money for the baby. If the box office is low, you know how big the impact will be. We're in this together. Why would I harm you?" Zhou Yuan felt like she had been made a fool of. She was so angry that her whole body trembled. She slapped him and chased him out of the door. However, she couldn't do anything. The baby was in her stomach. She could only acquiesce to Chen Lifeng's actions. Chen Lifeng timely announced that he had successfully proposed, and was preparing for the wedding. He hoped to receive everyone's blessings. Most of the netizens wouldn't say anything at this time. Since they were planning to get married, everyone's comments were basically wishing them a blissful marriage. Those who didn't like them didn't want to add to their bad luck at this time. It was fine as long as they didn't pay attention. This did bring a little popularity to Chen Lifeng's movie. The box office rose a little bit, but that little bit was useless to the overall box office. Chen Lifeng confirmed once again that many of his fans had run away. His popularity with the people was really bad. He couldn't even create hype. After being on the hot search for a few times, he fell down. He felt powerless and resentful. And all of this was brought to him by Chu Xiang. Back then, he had heartlessly dumped Chu Xiang. Now he was suffering the most ruthless revenge. If he could go back in time, he wouldn't have separated from Chu Xiang. In fact, This was also a trap that Chu Xiang had dug long ago. When Chu Xiang let them go on Love's Wish, she knew that there was a real sweet couple on that show. Under such a contrast, Chun Lifeng and Zhou Yuan's relationship, which had not been tempered, was full of fake sweetness. The audience wasn't stupid. They could tell who was really happy and who was faking it. Naturally, they didn't have a good impression of them. They wanted to go on the show to let the fans accept their relationship. At the same time, they gained a bunch of fans who were a couple. In the end, they failed on both sides. Not only did they not gain any fans who were a couple, but they also caused the fans who didn't like their relationship to leave. No one could change the fans' behavior. However, Chu Xiang had been in the entertainment industry before. She had also been in the fan circle. She knew how to disappoint a celebrity's fans. Chun Lifeng didn't even know that he had stepped into countless traps and disappointed his fans time and time again. Unknowingly, his popularity dropped. She invested in and acted in Journey Detective to add weight to the movie. The movies released at the same time were of the same genre. If one of them was a hit, the other would definitely be overshadowed. After the New Year's movie ended, Chun Lifeng's half a year of hard work went to waste. He won the Best Actor award for nothing. He even went downhill. It was his revenge for his disgusting actions in the past. Chun Lifeng released the news of Why You Getting Married. It only made a splash and no one paid attention to it. He even angered Zhou Yuan, and she didn't let him enter the house for a few days. At this time, Valentine's Day arrived. At 13:14 in the afternoon, Fang Zhenxuan posted on Weibo. The Zhenxiang couple is real, picture. The attached picture was of his and Chu Xiang's tightly interlocked hands. Under the sunlight, it gave off a very beautiful feeling. Chu Xiang also reposted his Weibo. It's real, heart, heart, heart. The fans had already found out that they were online in the Super Talks celebrity updates. They had been waiting happily to see what they were going to post. When it finally came out, a large number of fans immediately reposted it. After reposting it, they went to read the content. In the end, the Zhenxiang couple fans were ecstatic. Official announcement. I waited for an official announcement. It's Valentine's Day today. It's so sweet. Our Zhenxiang couple has received the approval of this lord. It's official. This is great. I'm going to be their fan for life. I feel like I'm dreaming. I just watched their movie and thought that they looked like a couple in the movie as well. Now that they're out of the cinema, it's official announcement? I'm going to buy a lottery ticket now. Zhenxiang couple, please bless me. Valentine's Day 13:14. This is the romance that belongs to Xian Xian and Xiang Xiang. The two of you must be together for life. I'm going to give you all the best blessings. After repeatedly checking Weibo and pictures, Chu Xiang's fans and Fang Zhenxuan's fans finally confirmed that the two of them were really in love. This time, it wasn't the imagination of Zhenxiang couple fans. They were really giving out candy on Valentine's Day. Of course, there were fans who didn't want their idols to be in a relationship. However, perhaps it was because they had always been too organized and disciplined. There were too many situations where they criticized others for being uncultured. Now that they wanted to object to this relationship, they actually didn't know what to say. They couldn't say bad things to their own people. Then, they didn't have much of a chance because a large number of fans sent out blessings. From the beginning, Fang Zhenxuan's fan base was made up of fans of his looks and fans of his rationality. Fans of his looks basically had double responsibilities. They liked him and Chu Xiang at the same time. Later on, as he slowly spread his charm, new girlfriend fans joined. However, there weren't many of them. Furthermore, Fang Zhenxuan had good works from the moment he debuted. Every work was a masterpiece. He had the best results time and time again, so his fans made up the majority. And his career couldn't have been less thanks to Chu Xiang. His fans had a good impression of Chu Xiang, and were naturally willing to give them their blessings. The most important thing was that the Zhenxiang couple fans had always had a strong presence. The legal army had never accepted Fang Zhenxuan and other people as a couple, but they had never cared about the Zhenxiang couple. They were as close as family, and had fought side by side with them many times. Now that the Zhenxiang couple had become a real couple, not many of them could say anything bad. Perhaps they had long become fans of the couple. After all, the Zhenxiang couple lived up to its name. Anyone who saw those sweet interactions would fall into the trap. It was like watching an idol drama. The more they watched, the more they would unconsciously hope that the male and female leads would be happy and sweet. Feng Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang were very popular. Their sudden public announcement of their relationship caused Weibo to be paralyzed. They couldn't open the webpage at all. It took a full 20 minutes before they could log in again. However, the server was still unstable. Many people had to refresh many times before they could see the webpage. Their comments were successful. As a diehard fan of the couple, Xia Lingling had already reposted on Weibo. "Ah, I knew it was real. It's official, it's official. I've met a real couple in this life. I can die without regrets." She was so excited that she forgot to check the time. After she excitedly scrolled through many topics and comments, she suddenly received a call from Lin. Only then did she realize what a stupid thing she had done. There were already many fan comments under her Weibo. It was even more stupid to delete them. She hurriedly called Chu Xiang and explained shyly and anxiously, "Sister Xiang, that I didn't want to freeload. I'm really a fan of the couple, so I was so excited that I forgot to check the time. Believe me, I can show you my account. I've been an unwavering fan of the couple from the beginning. Alright, it's nothing." Chu Xiang laughed. "I already knew that you were a fan of the couple. It's okay, just post it. Didn't I tell you that it doesn't matter how you interact with your family? How is this freeloading? If I can share some of the attention with you, that's still a good thing. Our family has to move forward together and benefit each other. It's never a competitive relationship, so there's no need to avoid suspicion." Xia Lingling's heart immediately warmed. "Thank you, Sister Xiang." Once she relaxed, she began to get restless. "Sister Xiang, now that everyone knows that I'm a fan of your couple, and you've also announced it, can I post a photo of you too? It's the one I took last time at dinner. Do you know the couple fans really want to be able to eat official candy, but there's basically no chance. I saved that photo and kept it from sharing it with them. I felt quite guilty." Chu Xiang laughed. "You're quite a fan of the couple. Send it, it doesn't matter. But at that time, we weren't together yet. In the future, there will be a lot of official candy." "Really? That's great. Sister Xiang, you and Brother Xian must be happy. I love you so much. I wish you a long time of love and a long life together." Feng Zhenxuan hugged Chu Xiang and rested his head on her shoulder. Hearing this, he smiled. "Thank you for your blessings." "Ah, Brother Xian. I won't disturb you anymore. You must be happy. Goodbye, Sister Xiang, Brother Xian." Xia Lingling hung up the phone and jumped a few times on the spot. Then she excitedly rolled around on the bed. Her face was flushed red. She found the group photo that was stored in a separate folder and posted it on Weibo. "Xia Lingling V. That's right, I'm the happiest CP fan. Do you remember when I was at the airport? That was my happiest day? It was because Brother Xian picked us up at the airport, and we even ate together. Ha ha ha. Although Brother Xian and Sister Xiang weren't together yet, I could wake up laughing in my dreams when I sat opposite them. With the consent of the two steams, I strongly requested a group photo as a Valentine's Day gift to everyone. You're welcome." In the photo, Chu Xiang was hugging Xian. Feng Zhenxuan's arm was on the back of the chair behind them, as if he was hugging them. The three of them had their heads close to each other. They really looked like a happy family photo. Looking at the photo, people couldn't help but smile. All the fans of the Chu family had already discovered that Xia Lingling had forgotten to cut the number. Seeing that she had posted the photo, they immediately ran over to eat the latest candy. "Ha ha ha, Xia Lingling, you're going to make me laugh to death. You're so excited that you forgot to cut the number. Lemon. At the same time, you're a die-hard CP fan. Why are you able to eat candy face to face and take photos? You and I under the lemon tree. The most enviable woman of the year is Xia Lingling. There's no one else. I want to transmigrate into Xia Lingling's body. I also want to eat the CP face to face. Lingling is too cute. Please take more photos at close range. Give me 10,000 tons of photos like this. Let us see what a CP is like in private." Mu Sen was probably the last person on the internet to know that his manager and senior brother were in love. He didn't pay attention to these things in the past. When he saw the gossip on the internet, he only thought it was a scandal. This time, he was reminded by Feng Yuan to post his blessings on Weibo. Only then did he know that the rumors were true. He was a little surprised, but he didn't think as much as the others. He only sincerely blessed Chu Xiang and Feng Zhenxuan in a few WeChat groups. Then he asked Feng Yuan to post a Weibo post that she had drafted. That's right, he even handed Weibo over to Feng Yuan to manage. It was just that Feng Yuan would ask for his opinion every time before she posted on Weibo. His old cadre style had been deeply ingrained in the hearts of his fans. Not only did his fans not feel that he was cold, but they also felt that his personality was very cute. They all left comments to tease him and at the same time, sent their blessings. Almost 80% of the Chu family's fans sent their blessings. The remaining 20% were unhappy, and some were indifferent. However, they were all drowned out by the large number of blessings. Passers-by fans also expressed their blessings. They even felt that it was very manly for Feng Zhenxuan to dare to announce his relationship when he had just debuted half a year ago. There were also many netizens who were curious and clicked on the topic to see. Some of them became new fans. The CP fans didn't forget to promote it while they were celebrating. They wanted to let everyone know that they were in love with a real CP. They wanted everyone to know how sweet their CP was. With Chu Xiang and Feng Zhenxuan's official announcement, on such a sweet day like Valentine's Day, they were at the top of the hot search list. Once again, they created a large number of fans. The legal team seized the opportunity to promote Journey Detective with all their might. It was at the peak of the movie's popularity. Feng Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang had both acted in this movie. Even as their manager, Chu Xiang might only act in this movie, making it their only work together. Journey Detective was instantly linked to their public relationship. The movie had already been in theaters for half a month. By right, the movie's popularity should have slowed down. However, because of the hot discussion about the male and female leads on the internet, it aroused the curiosity of the masses. Moreover, the movie itself had a good reputation. A large number of viewers flocked to the cinema, causing the box office of Journey Detective to soar again. Chen Lifeng revealed his marriage and pregnancy, but not many people remembered it. Feng Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang's public relationship caused Weibo to be paralyzed and the movie's box office to soar. Such a comparison made Chen Lifeng feel as if he had been slapped by Chu Xiang dozens of times. He even had a feeling that Chu Xiang was deliberately going against him. Otherwise, why would he film a comedy movie and Chu Xiang also film a comedy movie? Why would he get married and Chu Xiang fall in love? However, no matter how much he thought about it, he could not get the chance to prove it. Chu Xiang was enjoying her limelight. She would not even look at him. He thought back to the 8 years he had worked with Chu Xiang, and he felt that it was like a dream. Did Chu Xiang really love him? Or was everything in the past just a figment of his imagination? Chu Xiang did not pay attention to Chen Lifeng's current situation. However, when she compared the box office of the same period, she naturally knew how bad the box office of Chen Lifeng's movie was. Journey Detective ended up with a total box office of 3 billion. It far exceeded the initial expectations of Liang Zhen and the investors. As the biggest investor, Chu Xiang made a lot of money this time. Xingchen Entertainment, who was pulled in by her to invest, also made a lot of money. She was heavily praised at the annual meeting. Then, Feng Zhenxuan won the Best Actor award for Journey Detective. He became the youngest Best Actor award in the entertainment industry in the past 10 years. Moreover, it was a very prestigious Best Actor award. It was not easy for a comedy movie to win an award. It was already a phenomenal event to get such a high box office. It directly increased the audience's expectations for comedy movies. Now they even won the Best Actor award, Best Screenwriter and Best Director award. It was all because they were the most unique, the most excellent, and the most outstanding in the movie's plot and the best actor's acting skills. The director's initial decision made Feng Zhenxuan's character three-dimensional. With the opportunity to show so many sides, it also gave the screenwriter the most room to express himself. In the end, All three of them received such high honors. When Fang Zhenxuan received the award, he was still a little dazed. It was only when his gaze met with Chu Xiang's that he regained his usual calmness and smiled as he finished his acceptance speech. Everyone knew that he and his manager were a couple. Therefore, when he smiled at Chu Xiang and said that the person he was most grateful to was his girlfriend cum manager, the audience gave them the kindest smiles and applause. Chu Xiang became a true top manager. She became the most coveted manager in the entertainment industry. Everyone knew that she had a good eye. Regardless of whether it was people or resources, she could pick out the best. Everyone also knew that she was the reincarnation of a koi fish after surviving a disaster. She supported one person and made one famous. Everything she invested in was profitable. Following her would allow one to have a meteoric rise. Fang Zhenxuan won the Best Actor award. Chu Xiang's name spread throughout the entertainment industry. Chapter 230. As soon as Fang Zhenxuan got the Best Actor award, the script was handed to Chu Xiang like snowflakes. Not only were there scripts for Fang Zhenxuan, but there were also scripts for Mu Sun, Xia Lingling, and Xin Xin. Many people had taken a fancy to Chu Xiang's ability to invest and get investors, as well as her ability to cultivate artistes. Her reputation had spread, and the resources of every artiste under her were much better. Chu Xiang's team currently had 10 staff members, who basically worked at home. She had chosen 3 people to be in charge of screening scripts. This was equivalent to 3 layers of checks, and a good script would not be missed because of one person's preference. She did not consider the director, investment, or any other factors, and only looked at the script. If the script was exciting enough, she could solve other problems. She had money and connections in the entertainment industry, so she could be willful. There were more artists who wanted to meet Chu Xiang. Previously, there were many people who were watching, but now they were fighting for the opportunity. Chu Xiang not only made Fang Zhenxuan popular, but also let him win the Best Actor award. Chu Xiang's acting skills in movies, sensitivity to fashion, accurate vision, and good resources in her hands were enviable. Xia Lingling and Mu Sun, who had just followed her, also made people remember their names through variety shows. Now who didn't want to be Chu Xiang's artistes? However, Chu Xiang's standards were very high. After a rough understanding, she did not meet any of them. The entertainment industry was pyramid-shaped. Most artists did not have the conditions to be popular. Boss giving you a meal was not a joke. There was no fairness in whether you were popular or not. Some people might not be popular even if they worked hard for a lifetime. Chu Xiang was an agent because she thought it was fun. She liked to dig out people with potential and put them on the altar. She did not like to do good deeds, so she would rather have nothing than have something substandard. She had so many things on hand that she did not have the energy to take care of newcomers. This matter was temporarily put aside, and many people who were watching regretted it. Why didn't they fight with Xia Lingling and Mu Sun back then? If they had seized the opportunity at that time, they might have been popular now. At the end of February, Fang Zhenxuan's legal drama was completed. This drama was going to be broadcast during the summer, and the post-production work had already begun. This drama took a long time to shoot. Because the scriptwriter, Fang Zhenxuan, and Chu Xiang had revised the script together, the company saw that this was likely to become a classic workplace drama, so they raised the requirements for every plot and scene. Even though Fang Zhenxuan was still a newbie when he first received this resource, he was already very popular when the series started filming. The company attached great importance to him and increased the investment. Even the costumes and props were upgraded to a higher level. Otherwise, wouldn't it drag down Fang Zhenxuan's image? Fang Zhenxuan had signed an VM agreement with the company. The company hoped that the drama would be the icing on the cake instead of dragging Fang Zhenxuan down. If the viewership ratings were good, the company would also make a lot of money. After all, once Fang Zhenxuan entered the Linging market, it would be difficult for him to film a TV series in the future. Fang Zhenxuan had worked continuously for more than half a year. After the completion of the shooting, Chu Xiang was not in a hurry to give him a job. He only shot some magazine covers and endorsements, and his work intensity was almost 1 or 2 times a week. He spent the rest of his time with Xian. When Xian went to school, he would stay by Chu Xiang's side and follow her everywhere. Their honeymoon period was like a honeymoon period. During this period of time, fans could not see Fang Zhenxuan on TV. They could only see pictures of Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang at the airport every time they went to work in another place. Some fans put together screenshots of Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang's necklaces and sighed. When they first saw the two necklaces, they didn't think that it was a couple's necklace at all. Even the CP fans thought that they were going to announce a new endorsement. They were even guessing which accessory brand they were endorsing this time. After all, this was Chu Xiang's usual way of doing things. Who knew that on Valentine's Day, they would be sprinkled with dog food and realize that the two of them were wearing couple necklaces? It was also because of this pair of necklaces that the fans speculated that the two of them would be together during the Spring Festival. They could not get the same style, but they really hoped that Fang Zhenxuan would really endorse some brand of accessory and add another category to their shopping list. They sent a private message to Chu Xiang. They believed that Chu Xiang would definitely put the accessory endorsement on the agenda. In the days when they did not see Fang Zhenxuan, everyone started to produce their own food. For a time, the number of various clips on Bilibili increased by several times. The fans even complained that there was too little material and hoped that Fang Zhenxuan would produce more food. They wished that they could see him 365 days a year. And because Fang Zhenxuan did not have any new works, most of his fans followed Chu Xiang's fans and turned to support Xia Lingling's idol drama. Her drama finished filming before Musun and started airing after the Spring Festival. Although she was the second female lead, she played the role of a cute supporting female lead. As Chu Xiang expected, she was more popular than the first female lead. The first female lead wanted to step on Xia Lingling, but who was Xia Lingling? Not only was she Chu Xiang's artist, she was also one of Zhen Xiang's CP fans. She was one of Zhen Xiang's fans. Although she did not have many fans, Chu Xiang's fans and Zhen Xiang's CP fans were like Xia Lingling's loyal supporters. Once they made a move, the first female lead was on the same level. At this moment, the fans understood one thing, and that was that the fans of the Chu family, with different attributes, were really as close as a family. No matter which artiste under Chu Xiang was in trouble, they would do it together. They could not afford to offend them. Xia Zhe's example was still in front of them. No one in the fan circle was willing to offend Chu Xiang's people. After the catfight did not happen, everyone's attention fell on the idol drama itself. This idol drama was really good, especially the second female lead played by Xia Lingling. She was so cute that it made people want to have a best friend like her. And Xia Lingling's CP in the drama was also very addictive. It was even sweeter than the male and female lead. After the drama was broadcasted, it successfully made everyone remember her name. After her popularity rose, Chu Xiang got her a female lead role in a youth movie. She played a pure and gentle campus belle full of youthfulness. It really suited Xia Lingling's student aura. So Xia Lingling went back to the production team to work hard. She was focused on filming in the production team, but her popularity was still rising. There were fewer and fewer idol dramas that could be called good. After watching Xia Lingling's drama, fans who liked idol dramas left comments asking her to film a few more and play the female lead. It would be best if there was a drama broadcast from the beginning of the year to the end. At the same time, fans also remembered something. Fang Zhenxuan had never filmed an idol drama since his debut. At the beginning, they seemed to have mentioned it. Chu Xiang replied to fans that he would film if there was a good script. At that time, Fang Zhenxuan was a newcomer. Because of Chu Xiang's reply, he was ridiculed. Now that Fang Zhenxuan was so popular, he could definitely choose any idol drama script. But movie stars and TV stars were completely different. Fang Zhenxuan had already won the Best Actor award. Would he stop filming idol dramas? It felt like he was lowering his status. Fans left comments and private messages to Chu Xiang, asking if Fang Zhenxuan could film idol dramas in his lifetime. He was so young and so handsome. Wouldn't it be a pity if he didn't film an idol drama? But if he were to film an idol drama now, would he lower his status? They really wanted to watch it, but they were also worried. What should they do? When Chu Xiang took the time to read the private messages, she was amused by fans again. These fans were really worried. They were more worried about their idols' careers than they were about themselves failing their courses. She also saw that many CP fans wanted her and Fang Zhenxuan to act in idol dramas. Anyway, her acting skills were so good. If she acted in it, they wouldn't be jealous. The CP fans really wanted to watch it. It was really inappropriate for Fang Zhenxuan to act in idol dramas after winning the Best Actor award. Chu Xiang didn't plan to let Fang Zhenxuan act in TV dramas anymore. In the future, it would be better for him to film 2 carefully polished movies a year. He could also have some holidays to rest and recharge. However, seeing the fans looking forward to idol dramas so much, she pondered for a moment. It was not impossible. Acting in ordinary idol dramas was lowering his status, but it was different for phenomenal idol dramas. Maybe there would still be people talking about it after 20 years. Such idol dramas were very rare. However, if it was self-produced, it could be checked in all aspects by itself. There was no problem. Chu Xiang quickly picked a big fan's message and replied, "Idol dramas are waiting for a suitable script. I will make one for you in my lifetime." The fans didn't expect that she would reply to fans when she was so popular and busy. They were all excited when they saw the content. What are for you to shoot? This was spoiling fans. Chu Xiang's Papa definitely regarded idol dramas as fan welfare. Thinking about the benefits that Chu Xiang gave to fans every time, they were suddenly full of expectations for this future idol drama. They left messages one after another saying that there was no hurry, and that it must be good to watch. Some fans felt that filming idol dramas was not good for Fang Zhenxuan's career, but other fans soon listed how Chu Xiang made Fang Zhenxuan popular step by step. When it came to career, no one could interfere with Chu Xiang's arrangement. The fans' trust in her was unshakable. Instead, they discussed what kind of idol drama Fang Zhenxuan would film. Everyone had high expectations for Chu Xiang. Naturally, they also had high expectations for this idol drama. In addition, Chu Xiang's reply did not mention whether she would act or not, which also became a point of speculation. The number of people talking about it slowly increased. The topic of hashtag Chu Xiang will let Fang Zhenxuan act in an idol drama hashtag was trending, and it was the 10th trending topic. Fang Zhenxuan was stunned when he saw the trending topic at home. He took the freshly cut fruit plate to feed his girlfriend at the opposite door. He asked in confusion, "How can I be on the trending topic when I don't show up during the holidays? What did you do?" Chu Xiang ate a cherry and said casually, "Nothing, I just replied to a fan's comment." "Really? Is it good to always be on the trending topic? Will it annoy people?" Fang Zhenxuan was still not used to being on the trending topic more and more frequently. He felt that at this time last year, he was still working everywhere, but now it seemed that he had become the focus of attention. Chu Xiang smiled. "It doesn't matter. We didn't buy the trending topic. This is the real trending topic that the fans put up. Passers-by won't feel bad when they see it. You have to get used to it. A top star may be on the trending topic with an airport photo, a joke, or even an interesting expression. Anyway, it's a topic that a large number of fans are interested in, and can be on the trending topic. You can think of it as a gift from your fans. In fact, passers-by will find it interesting when they see it. Those who are not interested will directly ignore it. At most, they will think that you are very popular." Fang Zhenxuan nodded, picked up another cherry to feed her, and kissed her on the cheek. "What kind of idol drama do you want me to act in? You want me to be intimate with other girls. Won't you be jealous? Or will you act with me?" Chu Xiang put down her phone and put her arms around his neck. "You want me to act with you?" Fang Zhenxuan smiled and raised his hand to pull her into his arms. "I wonder if your majesty can fulfill my wish? That depends on whether your sincerity is enough first. Okay, I'll show it to you now." Fang Zhenxuan put her down on the sofa and leaned over to swallow all the words she wanted to say. Compared to Fang Zhenxuan, Xiaozhe had not been on the trending topic for a while. His top star name had basically been removed. There were no movies looking for him to act in. He had accepted a variety show and a workplace drama, and had a lot of work. He knew that Fang Zhenxuan had acted in a lawyer's workplace drama. Although he was acting as a designer this time, it was also a workplace drama, so he would definitely be compared. However, he had no choice. Currently, workplace dramas were the most popular. He couldn't act in a drama with veteran actors like Turning. He couldn't lose his popularity again. Even though he knew that he would clash with Fang Zhenxuan again, he had to bite the bullet and act. Fortunately, his fashion resources were not bad. The international brands he endorsed could still show off in front of fans and outsiders, who knew that he had only been on set for 2 days when he received a notice that Fang Zhenxuan had snatched 3 of his endorsements. One was a luxury jewelry endorsement, one was a skincare endorsement, and one was a camera endorsement. They were all big brands that everyone knew. They were the 3 most important endorsements among his endorsements. He immediately asked someone to find out what was going on. In the end, he found out that Chu Xiang had invested in these 3 brands. Although she was not a major shareholder, Fang Zhenxuan was now a top star. Even if Chu Xiang was not a major shareholder, it was enough for her to snatch the endorsements. He could not believe it. How could Fang Zhenxuan be so lucky? Chu Xiang was an ordinary manager who rose up in the face of adversity. Now, she had become a tyrant in the entertainment industry. But why did Chu Xiang invest in these few brands? He was too unlucky to snatch the endorsements from her. Back then, Chu Xiang had chosen her investments with a plan and a goal in mind. As a former top celebrity, Xia Zhe was very good at endorsements. Although he lost a few endorsements after his movie failed at the box office, he still had a few high-quality endorsements in his hands. Chu Xiang had only chosen these few investments, and now, the negotiations had been completed. Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang's ability to promote goods was obvious to all. Fang Zhenxuan's popularity had surpassed Xia Zhe's. In addition, Chu Xiang had invested with a plan or technology. What reason did the brand not have to choose Fang Zhenxuan? The endorsement announcement went smoothly. Fang Zhenxuan's commercial value increased further, while Xia Zhe's position in the industry decreased further. Especially Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan. They had already met Xia Zhe several times. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that they were not on good terms with Xia Zhe. Those who wanted to invest in Zhenxuan and be on good terms with Chu Xiang naturally had a choice. When there were resources available to Xia Zhe, almost all of them chose not to use them. This made Xia Zhe's path a little more difficult. During this period, Mu Sen's double male lead drama was also broadcast. It was his first time playing a villain. He acted so well that people hated him but couldn't help but feel sorry for him. After knowing why he had become bad, they couldn't even bear to hate him. It was difficult for a villain to be liked, but once people liked him, they would remember him for many years. Mu Sen had participated in an acting variety show before and finally won the championship. He had already left a good impression on the audience. Now that his drama was broadcast, there was a flood of good reviews. Everyone thought that he was worthy of being a treasure discovered by Chu Xiang. In the past few years, his talent had been completely buried. Chu Xiang waited until his drama was broadcast to let people see his acting skills and popularity before accepting him for the next drama. It was a spy drama in the Republic of China. The quality of the drama was very high, and many A-list male stars were fighting for it. If it weren't for his advantages, they might not have been able to get this resource. Chu Xiang had a very good plan for her subordinates. Everyone's path was the most suitable for them. She also accepted a variety show about Air Force training for Mu Sen, and a variety show about team survival on a deserted island for Xia Lingling. It was just right to let people see a different side of them. Fang Zhenxuan was in extreme mercenary mode. Sister Qing also made an appointment for the 2 of them to participate in Love's Wish. 2 variety shows a year were enough. Chu Xiang didn't accept any other variety shows for him. Later, she selected a good script and let him join the crew to shoot a movie. Chu Xiang began to look at office buildings, buy buildings, renovate them, and poach elite talents. They were busy, and time passed quickly. Fang Zhenxuan's legal drama would be broadcasted during the summer. As a top student in law school, he would have his own halo and popularity when he acted in this drama. Everyone wanted to know what he would look like when he acted as a lawyer. But they were also worried that this drama would feel fake and empty like other workplace dramas. Unexpectedly, after only the first 4 episodes, the drama's reputation exploded. Then the drama's reputation kept rising, and so did the ratings. It quickly became the top of all the drama ratings in the first half of the year, and was called the light of workplace dramas. Fang Zhenxuan was smart, self-disciplined, and had a high IQ and EQ. He could always think of a solution for the client, and see whether the client was telling the truth or lying. Even if he encountered a difficult case, as long as it was handed to him, he would definitely have a way to solve it. That kind of strength could make people ignore Fang Zhenxuan's handsome appearance. It was this person, no matter what he looked like, he was handsome. He was admirable. He could give people an endless sense of security. This drama was popular not only because the plot was good, but also because every case in the drama could happen in reality, and it could happen to everyone. Someone deliberately checked and found that every case in the drama was handled in accordance with the law. That was to say, this drama also had the effect of popularizing the law, but it was not boring at all. It made the audience unconsciously understand a lot of legal knowledge. This matter made the audience exclaim and praise that this was a real workplace drama. The so-called workplace dramas before were just idle dramas in disguise. The scriptwriter of this drama was too professional. The audience paid attention to the scriptwriter, and soon found that there was a note at the end of the drama. It was specifically stated that the scriptwriter was Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang's minor, so everything about the law in the drama was corrected by Fang Zhenxuan. The drama was on the hot search and received a lot of attention. In the end, it was officially recognized. The People's Daily and other official blogs praised this drama and recognized that this drama had a positive impact on society. It was a real workplace drama. The title of the light of workplace dramas came from this. The fans were overjoyed and happy for their idol's excellence. The audience also had a better impression of Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang. Outsiders did not understand the twists and turns of the entertainment industry. They only felt that this star and agent were really practical. In order to make a good drama, they personally participated in the revision of the script. This drama could be made so well because of their hard work. Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang were very popular. Under the fans' online and offline publicity, Chu Xiang became a well-known agent. Even the fact that she was Fang Zhenxuan's girlfriend and lover was spread out. In short, the word amazing could be used. Chu Xiang was indeed amazing. Fang Zhenxuan, Xia Lingling, and Mu Sun had all become frequent hot searches. As long as their works appeared, there was nothing to criticize. The only artist under her who did not appear often was Xinxin, but she gave Xinxin very good resources. She basically acted in blockbusters with excellent reputation. When she acted as someone's daughter, orphan, or protagonist, she gradually became the most popular child star. This year, Fang Zhenxuan's position in the entertainment industry became more and more stable. He had already become a top A-list powerhouse and the representative of young actors. He also paid attention to Xia Zhe outside of work. Xia Zhe's workplace drama was unfortunately broadcast after the legal drama ended, and became a popular drama. The legal drama had a good reputation, and was called the light of workplace dramas. As soon as Xia Zhe's drama was released, a large number of audiences who liked workplace dramas clicked on it, and then abandoned it. Xia Zhe was popular for a few years in the past, and it was not that he was useless. At least, he was not bad at everything. However, he was just unlucky. Clearly, other people's workplace dramas were similar to his, but he was the only one who followed Fang Zhenxuan. The strong contrast suppressed him, until he could not make a comeback. The legal drama was 9.5 points and his designer drama was only 3 points. This was simply a bloody abuse. It was even worse than when he acted in Reunion. The investors lost money again, and his reputation in the industry plummeted. Almost no one was willing to invest in him anymore. He had become a box office poison. However, he did not have a good sense of variety. The marketing account was already used to comparing him with Fang Zhenxuan. The netizens naturally saw it the same way when the marketing account published the article. Fang Zhenxuan's extreme mode was so good and had a strong sense of variety. Xia Zhe was nothing compared to it. Not to mention, Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang participated in Love's Wish together. They did not want to be the sweetest couple of the year on a public honeymoon, and attracted countless fans. On variety shows, Fang Zhenxuan could compare Xiaozhe to the mud. Fang Zhenxuan almost blocked all of Xiaozhe's paths. There was no harm without comparison. If he was beautiful alone, his popularity might decline more slowly. However, he was unlucky to meet Fang Zhenxuan, and people quickly found out that he was an embroidered pillow. Fang Zhenxuan's excellence made him have no advantages. He even lost a few endorsements, and his commercial value plummeted. To Xiaozhe, this year had been the greatest ordeal of his life. However, he was still too optimistic. After the idol drama he acted in during the winter break was once again criticized by the audience, Chu Xiang thought that the time was right. She exposed all the dirt that she and Fang Zhenxuan had collected in one go. #Xiaozhe suspected of being a kept man before his debut. #Xiaozhe's salary and taxes are unknown. #Xiaozhe scolded his fans backstage for being brainless. #Xiaozhe's scandal was true for half a year. 80% of Xiaozhe's fans were girlfriend fans. During this period of time, his works were mocked one by one, and his fans were also embarrassed. Some of them had already quit or half quit. This time, the exposure of these scandals really hit them in the gut. Xiaozhe debuted at the age of 18. The two photos of him being a kept man looked very young. He was leaning against a chubby rich woman in a bar's private room, and drinking cross-cupped wine. Although the quality of the photos was very poor, Xiaozhe's fans could recognize him even if he turned into ashes. If it wasn't photoshopped, then the young Xiaozhe was a kept man. If that was before his debut, they could barely accept it. However, the rumored girlfriend he had been secretly in love with for half a year was very popular at that time. There was also a group of fans who were a couple. As his girlfriend fans, they even scolded that female star badly. The two were still enemies until now. They had always thought that it was that female star who had been tied together to create hype. In the end, there were photos of Xiaozhe and that female star hugging and holding hands in the parking lot. The fans found out from Xiaozhe's clothes in the photos that the photos were from 2 years ago. That was when they liked Xiaozhe the most, and Xiaozhe was at the peak of his popularity. At that time, he secretly dated and kept it from them. The girlfriend fans were angry that they had been cheated on. At that time, Xiaozhe watched as they scolded his girlfriend and even photoshopped her photo. He didn't even say a word. Was he a man? Wasn't he too irresponsible? The title of scumbag fell on Xiaozhe and became his latest label. Backstage, Xiaozhe scolded his fans for being brainless. 10 seconds was very short, but it was enough to break the hearts of his fans. Even the die-hard fans who insisted on defending Xiaozhe felt suffocated and didn't know what they were holding on for. A large number of passers-by were concerned about the tax situation, which was the most fatal blow to Xiaozhe. Everyone knew that he was a top celebrity a few years ago, and his salary was so high that it was incomprehensible. Now that it was exposed that he didn't pay his taxes properly, how could they tolerate it? The tax authorities received countless reports, all of them asking them to investigate Xiaozhe. Starting from the investigation of Xiaozhe, the entertainment industry had been completely reorganized by the officials. Xiaozhe was done for. He had no dramas, no variety shows, no endorsements, and still had to pay a huge amount of taxes. He didn't even get through this year, and became an existence that was despised by everyone. From the top to the bottom, he would probably be recorded in the history of the entertainment industry in another way. At the same time, Chen Lifeng was also on the news. Chu Xiang reported him. The original owner of the body had been Chen Lifeng's manager for 8 years and more, or less knew about Chen Lifeng's situation. When Xiaozhe was investigated, Chu Xiang provided evidence of Chen Lifeng's tax evasion. The timing was just right. As long as the other celebrities paid their taxes, their cases wouldn't be made public. However, Chen Lifeng and Xiaozhe were made public as examples. Some people suspected that Chu Xiang had done something. These two people seemed to be her rivals. But in this kind of thing, what could she do? The tax situation was very serious and no one could save it. There was no evidence that Chu Xiang had anything to do with this matter, but people in the industry were still a little wary of her. They reminded themselves not to be responsible for her when she was still in high school. Zhou Yuan was stimulated by Chen Lifeng's matter and gave birth early. However, it was only 2 weeks early, so it wasn't considered premature. After a lot of hard work, she gave birth to twins. Having twins should have been a joyous occasion, but she couldn't feel happy at all. She only felt that she was blind and stupid to have found such a person. But this year, she was pregnant and waiting to give birth. Chen Lifeng coaxed her to hand over the management of the studio. Her resources and connections had been used by Chen Lifeng. Even the important staff in the studio were replaced by Chen Lifeng's people. She stayed at home and thought that she was a happy woman. Who knew that her life would suddenly turn upside down? It was too late to regret now. If she divorced at this time, she would be scolded for being heartless. If she didn't divorce, she would be suspected of being in the same boat. Her reputation would be greatly affected, and it would be extremely difficult for her to come back and regain her former popularity. She didn't have a good husband and 2 newborn babies. Zhou Yuan only felt that the future was dark. If she could do it all over again, she wouldn't be with Chen Lifeng. Even if they were together, she wouldn't let Chen Lifeng replace Chu Xiang because of jealousy. She also wouldn't use false rumors to slander Chu Xiang. Unfortunately, it was too late. There was no medicine for regret. This year, Xian acted in 2 movies. One of them won the Best Newcomer award. She was the oldest person to win the award. Fang Zhenxuan and Chu Xiang took her to the cemetery to sweep her mother's grave. Fang Zhenxuan squatted in front of the tombstone and smiled at Xian's changes in the past 2 years. Xian lost her mother when she was 1 year old. She didn't have any memories of her mother, so naturally, she wasn't so sad. She held Chu Xiang and Fang Zhenxuan's hands and smiled at the photo on the tombstone. Her uncle and aunt were very good. They were very, very good and loved her very, very much. She would also be a shining star in the future. Fang Zhenxuan looked at her and silently waited for her to finish. Then he touched her head. When they were about to leave, he let Chu Xiang hold Xian's hand and leave first. He waited until Xian couldn't hear him, and then touched the tombstone. Sister, I've avenged all the grievances you suffered in the past. That man couldn't accept such a big difference. He wouldn't have a good life for the rest of his life. Rest in peace. In your next life, remember to wipe your eyes and be a happy person. He was silent for a moment and then said, It's our family's fortune to have met Xiang. If you're here, you must bless us with happiness for the rest of our lives. Fang Zhenxuan smiled and looked at Chu Xiang and Xian's back view. He quickly chased after them. All their troubles were gone. In the future, happiness was enough. Fang Zhenxuan's 2-year contract with the company was successfully terminated. Then he opened ZX Entertainment with Chu Xiang. The company had a complete set of departments. They were all elites that Chu Xiang had poached. The 4 artists under the company were all famous and had better resources than the other. After the company was established, the first drama they produced was an idol drama. At first, everyone thought that the boss had prepared it for Xia Lingling. Later, when the official announcement was made, they realized that it was the drama that the boss owed to the fans. It was an idol drama that she and Fang Zhenxuan starred in. The scriptwriter was a name that no one had heard of. The script was surprisingly good. No one knew where the boss had found this treasure. Anyway, the funds were in place. The director and other crew members were all handpicked. The drama started shooting. The fans saw the love variety show during the summer vacation of the Zhenxiang couple's official announcement. It was so sweet that it doubled the Zhenxiang army and made countless people believe in love again. During the winter vacation of the 2nd year after the official announcement, they saw the idol drama that Chu Xiang had promised. Endless worry turned into excitement after watching the drama. How could this drag down Fang Zhenxuan's status? This clearly added another achievement to Fang Zhenxuan's record of conquering the entertainment industry. Countless idol dramas had been ridiculed as worthless. It was good enough that they were able to enjoy it. But this idol drama of theirs was unstoppable. Countless girls waited for the start of the drama every time they opened their eyes, thinking about what would happen next. They laughed and cried for the male and female leads. It was as if they were in a passionate relationship with the male and female leads, experiencing the joys and sorrows of love together, tasting the joys and sorrows of love together. Of course, in the end, there was only endless sweetness left. The script of this idol drama was personally written by Chu Xiang. It was tailor-made for her and Fang Jinxuan. Combined with the current audience's preferences, it finally created a phenomenal idol drama. It became a classic idol drama, and was called the most conscientious and best idol drama in the past 10 years. The ratings became the first in the year, and were far ahead. It made other dramas lose in disbelief. The fans who were afraid that they would not be able to get the official suites were full this time. The passers-by who did not accept the relationship between a sister and a younger brother, and did not support them also fell into the pit this time. They would never change their name because they would only get sweeter and sweeter. No matter how much people were not optimistic about them, they would want to fall into the pit as soon as possible after knowing them. Fans wanted to edit the video of the two of them. There were a lot of materials. Some fans found the video of Fang Jinxuan's first flight as a guest in Love's Wish, and edited what he said at that time. It doesn't matter what love is like. The most important thing is to meet the right person. Chu Xiang was the right person for him. They were willing to share their happiness with the fans. The fans had been happy to follow them to the end. No one disappointed the other. Chu Xiang later signed many stars. Some of them were managed by herself, and some were managed by the agents who had been trained. Fresh meat, flowers, green leaves with strength, old bones who were not popular, boy groups, girl groups, singer-songwriters, idols who were hated by the whole internet, and so on. There were all kinds of people she liked. No one knew what her standards were. They only knew that those who were chosen by her were all popular without exception. All of them were the company's cash cows. They had won many awards. Among them, Fang Jinxuan was still the one who developed the best. He had developed into an internationally famous superstar and started Fang Jinxuan's era, which was also Chu Xiang's era. The history of the entertainment industry would record their names. No situation could erase it. The two of them were still the sweetest couple. The fighting power of the fans of the true CP had been reflected in suppressing all other couples over the years. They wanted to destroy any other couples formed by Fang Jinxuan or Chu Xiang, and anyone else. Especially Chu Xiang. There were so many fresh meat in her company. They were handsome, tender and popular. Everyone still remembered that Chu Xiang signed Fang Jinxuan because he was good-looking. Of course, they would help Fang Jinxuan block these vixens. There had always been a lot of people chasing Chu Xiang. There were directors, movie stars, and fresh meat in the entertainment industry. However, Chu Xiang had never been involved in any scandals with others. Fans joked that Fang Jinxuan was Chu Xiang's official husband. There was even a saying that went out of the circle. "If I don't die, you evil concubines will never be able to get to the top." Chu Xiang's best friend, Yi Tong, often teased her. She raised the cabbage from back then, and then took it for herself. It must have been premeditated. Chu Xiang didn't argue with her. She handed over the company and all the charity work of her Rao to her. There had never been a mistake in the positive image of an artist in charity. Someone interviewed Chu Xiang and asked her, as a golden manager, if the most successful artist under her was Fang Jinxuan. Chu Xiang smiled and didn't say anything, but it was obvious that she didn't agree with this method. At that time, many people were curious. How could the most successful person she made popular not be Fang Jinxuan? They were more than a golden partner. They were simply diamond partners. Even if Chu Xiang made so many artists popular, the most popular one was definitely Fang Jinxuan. When Xian, who had won many awards at a young age, came back from studying abroad, she won the Best Actress award in her first film. Her first concert was full of people. Then she acted in a big Hollywood IP movie. Only then did everyone realize that the most successful artiste under Chu Xiang was Xian. Xian's skills were all taught by Chu Xiang herself. She was practically a replica of Chu Xiang. It was every artist's dream to be chosen by Chu Xiang. There had never been an agent who could achieve this in the entertainment industry. This was Chu Xiang's era. Until she retired and traveled around the world with Fang Jinxuan, There were still myths and legends about her in the entertainment industry. However, she had put those behind her. After having a good time, she was already looking forward to the next world. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.